Good evening, everybody. Hello, how are you doing?
He does seem to show
SDRL
quite
is
good
last
records.
week, so let me just
Now
fix
that I'm
that.
looking
Bear
at
with me a
this pit
second.
lane here for Q2, it actually looks wetter than it did in Q1. At the end of Q1, sorry. It looks like it started raining harder once again.
That's better. Let me just check I've got audio. I have. There we go. Decided to start a little bit earlier today, just try and get a bit more practice in. We are welcome to an SDRL race, Season 2, Round 3 of the Gold Tier at the Netherlands. How is everybody doing? Corn 76, the lines to either side of the tarmac are not just for decoration. No, they show you where you should push people who are trying to overtake you. That's right, isn't it? If you get them over the other side of that line, then you get extra points. Cool. So, without further ado, let's first of all, let's get the game to the front, and let's see if anybody fancies joining some lobbies for some practice around the Netherlands. Do dive in. I should probably let's not bother with the pinned message. See who is online that we can invite. We'll do a few 5-lap races, no qualifying, just to get my eye in around the Netherlands. Hopefully we can get some people in relatively quickly, and we can head off. Qualifying due to start around 9 o'clock. Full qualifying, followed by a 50% race, as I say, around the Netherlands. Track I'm not too bad at. So fingers crossed we can go well. We've got 2 points finishes already this season, so it'd be nice if we could continue that run of good form. It's a fairly tricky track, so if there's any weather involved, that could make things interesting. We'll just have to find out what the weather gods have in store for us. I've done a couple of practice races around here. But nothing except in the bone dry. So knowing my luck, it is going to be wet. But that'll just make it all the more interesting, won't it? How's everybody's week going? I hope you're all having a good one. Not too bad here. Who've we got joining? Jack NUFC, Earl Roman. Oh, I have picked my car. We've got Guy coming in to do some more electrical work. I say electrical work, network cables tomorrow. So I can get rid of my reliance on power line for Chopsy's room and the room downstairs. Starting to get a little bit unreliable. So that's a shame. But if we get some hardwired connections down there, that will improve things with a bit of luck. So hopefully that will go well. Had all the electrics done last week, new sockets and light fittings and stuff. I'm getting a new light fitting up here as well, which will give me more brightness, as well as the ability to adjust the brightness. Invite again, Grey Rain, will do. It's going to be a relatively short one today. I'm in a league race, as I say, which the lobby for that will start to fill up around 8:45, so we'll do 15 or 20 minutes of 5 lappers around the Netherlands and see how we get on. Quick we can get in, the better. In fact, let's ready up. I'm more interested in my ability around the track than necessarily racing anybody. So let's see. I may well make a few pit stops as well, just to practice the pit entry, because pit assist and pit lane, pit exit assist are not enabled in this league. Let's just show you the track. I'm sure you're all well aware of what the Netherlands look like. Lots of quite tricky corners here. The walls are quite close in places as well. One curb of doom at least at turn 9. If you get onto that curb, then it drags you off all the way to the outside, which is never fun. So let's get my Netherlands setup loaded. And let's dive in. starting on pole. Can't see who's around me just yet. My telemetry is working. Oh, I do need to change that actually. Telemetry needs to be on F120. Oh, it is on F122. Let's see how we get on. See if I can remember how to drive around the Netherlands. Half decent start by my standards. Oh, and off we go.
DRS is now available.
This is one corner I always seem to lose quite a lot of time at. So if I can improve that, that would be good.
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
This next left-hander also is one I always seem to drop back on or crash. Oh well, that gives me a chance to do a pit stop.
Okay, you've got front wing damage. This will have a major impact on performance unless you box for a new one. Okay, we can take you this lap.
Okay, no pit lane speeding penalty, that always helps.
Okay mate, that's it, go, go, go! Perfect job on the turn in there mate, looks like a nice stop time, we're happy with that one.
Was on for fastest lap on my previous lap till I binned it, so let's see if I can repeat that. I did use a lot of ERS down the start finish straight. Okay, let's see what we can do. Put brand new tyres on, so should have an advantage there. Purple first sector. Past the second sector for me.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap. Okay.
Oh,
here's the
come on,
gap
AD.
that we're
You don't
trailing
touch
car
the inside
ahead by.
curb there.
23.6 seconds.
Don't do a what? Can't see that. It's behind my telemetry.
Come on. Now we can fight.
What? That was in the league last season. Thanks for reminding me of that, Oscar. It was F123.
Okay, this is your final lap. Final lap of the race.
That's alright. I remind myself of it frequently. Hopefully I didn't get a penalty for that. I'm not sure if it would have told me or not. Because that may well be the start-finish line as well. Oh well, that was a fairly poor race. Well done, Jack. At least I didn't do a Dragon. What did Dragon do? Dragon's done lots of things. He's having a good season this year, though. Running well both when he's reserved for Diamond and also when he's in Gold. So, was on for a storming result last week until he picked up a 10-second penalty. Yeah, that's exactly what I did, Oscar. Yes, I did see that in Diamond. Yeah, wasn't his finest hour. Yeah, it was Red Dog, who was also reserving. I managed to give Cert damage, which Cert wasn't too pleased at. These things happen. A few of the other drivers who will be streaming tonight, probably. Red Dog could well be as well, and I must check whether he actually streams the race. I think he does. Okay. Any guesses as to what the next track is? It's the Netherlands. Can't think why I'm doing this track several times. Try and get straight in. As I say, I'm more interested in getting myself practice rather than building a big lobby, because I will get invited into the race lobby in the next 10-15 minutes or so. So these races will have to stop then. Very Brit heavy grid. 4 out of 5, or is it 4 out of 6? 4 out of 6. K-Dog. Takes a Williams. So I'm getting used to the engine sound in the Haas. Hey Chris, not too bad, just doing some practice for a league event that's due to start in 20-25 minutes or so. So all of the races will be at the Netherlands, I'm afraid. I'm just trying to get as much track mileage in. Wondering whether to set one of them, the weather to intermediates. Excellent, Chris. As I say, we'll do another 1 or 2 of these, I suspect, just to try and get my eye in at the track. I've been pushing the limits a little bit, trying to see where they are. So I've had a few spins, been into the pits a couple of times, trying to spot the braking points for the pit lane speed limit, because pit assist and pit release assist are disabled for this league. Yes, let's hope so. Not doing too bad in the league so far. P7 in the first round, P5 in the previous round. So let's see if I can continue a run of points finishes. It would be nice if we can. Considering how long it took me to score points in season 1, although there was only a single tier then, and so I was in with all the guys who could actually drive. If we could ready up, that would be nice. Thank you. Protein powder. Wonder, should I put myself in the middle of the grid? So randomize, move player down. There you go, Oscar. Can't remember what button 6 is. There, right, so let's put Oscar at the back. I'm in P8. Yep, it's a good plan. I'm alright with setups, because I'm using Sim Racing Centre. !SRC, I think, will work in the chat. We'll get you an affiliate link, lets you support the channel, as well as a discount code for 10% off anything you buy. Can wholeheartedly recommend their setups. They will also do lap analysis training sessions. They'll even race engineer you if you wanted something like that. So do check them out. They're definitely worth a look if, like me, you can't set up an F1 car for chat. No self promo, it's SDRL promo. It's not SDRL, SRC promo. But yes, as I say, they are definitely worth it. I wonder where it puts these new people on the grid. I'm not... Same thing, fair enough. Yeah, trying to make myself a bit of extra money to add on to the millions that Twitch pay me every month. I wish it was sponsorship, Oscar. It's not, it's just affiliate. A long way off anyone sponsoring me, I suspect. Alright, we're 8 seconds away. Let's dive in. The grid is filling up, so Oscar, you may not be at the back anymore, but you should be towards the back. I don't know where it will have put these extra drivers who have joined. Roman Hall, thank you for the follow. It is much appreciated. It all helps. Do drop a follow if you're not already. It is completely free. It does help show the channel that you are supporting, and it is much appreciated. Assuming the lobby gets created on time, this could well be the last one of these. We will see. I think it's Choco doing the commentary solo this evening, so hopefully that goes well for him. If you're not aware, I have been involved in the commentary on a Monday evenings. Yes, that's a fair point, Oscar. The lobby's usually created on time because that's down to Chocolate. It's whether all the other drivers turn up on time that's up for grabs. Okay, so we are somewhere around the middle. Try and get myself some laps in amongst other cars. See if I can get my elbows out.
Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much
Yes,
damage.
that is a problem. I have slight front wing damage myself. Whoops. Alright, I've got real front wing damage now.
Damage to your front wing, damage to your front wing. Suggest we box to change it.
Yeah, I noticed, Mark. Thanks for that.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. Caution, caution.
All the damage, it would appear. Yeah, well, open lobbies, what do you expect? How many people have pitted? Plenty.
Okay, off we go, back into the race. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
Well, it seems I'm not last. Dragon Joe.
Understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
So the car that's 13 seconds ahead is going to be giving me dirty air, is it, Mark? You sure about that? Dragonflies, yeah. There are 2 dragons in the league this season, I think.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully you'll enjoy mine as well. Yeah, me too. We've had a relatively good start to the season. Dragon won the first race, I think. Or was that the pre-season race? I'm not sure. He unfortunately finished 10th last week due to a 10-second speeding penalty. But I've come 5th and 7th, so, or 7th and 5th technically. So that's quite nice.
Yellow flag.
Yep. We were leading the team championship. I think we're either a close second or still just in the lead. Can't really remember after last week.
Green flag.
Never know. Actually, well, there's a good chance because one of the Ferrari drivers at least isn't racing today, and reserves can't score Constructors' Championship points. I'm assuming Dragon is racing tonight. I haven't really checked, but...
started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
What, you crashed, did you, Oscar? Dragons do pretty well this season.
Come on. Now we can fight.
Earl Roman wins again. Yeah, I'd noticed that, thank you. Whoops, wrong gear. Hey Rob, how's it going? How was my sleep? I did have a bit of a nap before, actually.
Caution, caution.
Yeah, when you get to my age, Oscar, you need all the sleep you can get. Any sign of the lobby going live yet? Or the SDRL channel? If someone could keep an eye on that to let me know when I need to potentially refresh to start picking up Choco's excellent commentary. A ping has gotten out. Okay, I will respond to that. So that will be it for now. We will hopefully thanks for that, Rob. Slightly too much information, but never mind. How did I come 8th? Okay, fair enough. Hold it. Yes. Sure, more than one race driver has gone in his race suit. Yeah, I'm just going to join Oscar. I don't want to be the one holding everybody. Fair enough, Rob. Okay, so that was a couple or three. How many did we do? It was only 2, wasn't it? Not great in either. Although the spin in that one wasn't... was it my fault? I can't remember. Hey-ho. Excellent, Rob. I am going to check my invites. I don't have an invite yet. Anyone aware if the invites are going out? Fair enough, sir. Have I got time for another 5-lapper, sir, do you think, or would you prefer I didn't? Excellent. Go for it. Okay, let's ready up quickly then. TT. Oh. Well, I can always... Q3 would be nice. I did make it last week. Remote. Ready up, people, if you would. Let's get in as quick as we can. I may have to leave this one if the invite comes out for the SDRL lobby. I rarely bother with TT cert. Thank you, cert. I'm sure I'll see it in the game. I assume is Choco actually live and talking, or is it just? Let me refresh that. Okay, let me get that maximized then. Get the setup loaded. Last plug for Sim Racing Centre setups. Well worth it if, like me, you have no clue how to set up an F1 car. Choco wants to 1v1 what? Sorry. Driver at the front of the grid ghosted. That's not helpful. Ah, Choco invite received. Alright, I'll do a couple of laps. See. Let's just do this start on the first lap. Alright. Okay. Not my finest start. It was going quite well until turn 3. Maybe turn 4, is that? Yeah, I think you're right, Oscar. I'll do a pit stop.
Hitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
Oops. Don't want to do that in the race. Okay, everybody, we are heading into the SDRL lobby. Hopefully Choco will be live with the commentary relatively soon. I dare say he's a little bit busy having to do it by himself tonight. Have they fixed the goals problem yet? There's a little trick that you can use to maximize out to select all of the goals by using the left and right keys to scroll through them. It forgets how many goals you had when you started. Nico Hülkenberg. So we're expecting 15 drivers in, it seems, so straight through to Q2. Okay, SDRL has gone live. Let's let you see the intro. Choco having audio issues, so hopefully that's not just me. Anyone confirm that that's happening on the SDRL stream as well? I hope that's not me. I'm getting game audio okay, so I think my headset is all okay. I'm losing the SDRL audio in my stream. I'll refresh that now.
3 of SDRL. In the God series here, we are here for the race in Zandvoort. Let's quickly have a look back at what happened last race.
Ooh, highlights. I wonder if I make it into the highlight reel. I'm
We
betting
saw
I
a very
don't.
chaotic end to qualifying in the Gold Series as the rain started to fall. Rocket managed to get some of the best track conditions and took pole position, with the top 3 only half a tenth apart. Everybody seems to have managed to get back going, but I think that was AD getting caught up on the apex.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It wasn't me
Shuriken
getting
going
caught
for
on the
lead
apex. Thanks for
as
that,
we
though,
head
Choco.
through Brooklands and Luffield. Who's going to get this one? Shuriken getting back up into the lead, making up for that mistake in qualifying. Up to P1, but here comes Rocket now in the slipstream as we head down towards Cop's Corner. Is he going to try and stick his nose up to the inside? He's having a look. Is he going to make this move stick? Down the inside into Cops. Yes, he can. Rocket challenging the lead once again. Now we head down towards Maggots and Beckett's. Rocket and Shuriken
Side by side down to Maggots and Beckett's is always a bit brown trousers, if you ask me.
What a move from Rocket. Back up into P1. Up the inside at Cops. Up the inside at Maggots. And he's retaken that race lead. Josh gets back ahead now as we head down towards Vale. Shuriken on the inside line. Jack also challenging on Echo. Is anybody going to try and make that through goes Hamilton move? Here comes Echo. Through past Rocket List. He's done it. He's done it. He gets the exit. But now Rocket challenging back down the Hamilton straight towards Abbey. They're almost going through. Rocket on the inside. Echo on the outside. He just manages to squeeze back past. Now as we head down towards Village, Jack also trying to get on this Rocket to the inside. They managed to keep it on the track. Just about. Oh, Jack getting out of shape. Jack got out of shape and Downsy gets past. Up into P4. He almost lost the car there. Coming out of entry, but here comes Rocket. Now to the inside of Dragonflies. Gets the move done. Has he overcooked it though? Doesn't look like he quite has. Just manages to hold on to it, and here comes Echo now on Dragon. A little bit of contact, almost spins the car there on the exit, and now down towards Cop's Corner. Dragon in the slipstream. He's gaining on Rocky. He has a look to the inside. There's contact, and they crash. Rocket is off. There was contact. Dragon went into the back of Rocket, and Rocket now losing 3 positions as a result. He's lost a couple seconds too. Into the pit lane for the intermediates. Here they come into the pit lane, and we have a safety car. Jack has crashed out down at Cop's Corner, and we have a safeguard. Dragonflies gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It is all kicking off now, and this brings everybody back in. But what tyres are they going to go for now?
I'm down in 12th
He's
at that
be
point.
Gaining in that DRS. Josh picks up a
Up to
3-second
P9
penalty.
now.
Here comes Rocket to the inside. They make contact. Rocket is going to still try it to the inside. Can he make the move stick? More contact between the pair of them. Almost gets spun round there by the Ferrari. But now heading into Vale, I think Rocket will just settle. He's going to send it to the inside, though. Almost makes contact. Just manages to keep going, but up to the line. Echo will take it on track, but it's not going to be enough because of that penalty. Rocket is going to win the British Grand Prix. He wins his home Grand Prix. Echo comes home in second, and Downsy
Dragon
takes
plummeting
P3.
down the field due to that penalty.
There were many incidents in the race which
Look
shuffled
at
all
that,
of the
top
drivers
5
around.
all Brits.
After all of the penalties,
6
Downsy
in the
takes
top
his first
10.
win in SDRL at his home track, with Patronus and Rocket rounding out an all-British podium.
That's what we like to see. Let's see if we can repeat that this week.
Well, there we have it then. A very chaotic
Rob,
British
welcome
Grand
back.
Prix, and as we can see, an all-British top 5 it actually was in the end after all those penalties.
That's what I just
there
said,
was
Choco.
about 20 penalties in the end, I think.
Is he listening to me?
But yeah, there we go. Congratulations to Downsy on taking that first win. Unfortunate for Rocket. He picked up a 5-second time penalty later on. And yeah, that dropped him out of that P1 spot. As for the
Come on, Red
drivers
Dog.
and constructors standing, let's just have a quick look at those as well. Downsy is currently leading by 10 points from
P7
Dragon
in the Drivers'
and
Championship.
Echo, both of them on 27 points in second and third. Patronus up to 4th place. Shuriken
Although on the same number of points as
drops
Rocket.
down as well after his DNF in that race. And then Rocket in 6th, AD in 7th, Josh 8th, Luke in 9th, and Tyrant in 10th. As for the constructors' standings, out in
How are we
front,
doing?
it is VCarb. They are having a very good start to the
we were
season.
overtaken by
14 points clear
VCarb.
of Haas, and then Ferrari just a couple points further behind. Aston Martin lagging behind a little bit as a result of Shuriken's DNF in that race as well. But now, looking forward to
Your time will
Zandvoort.
come, Rob.
In the Red Bulls, we have Lone Fiber and Jax. In the Mercedes, Havoc, the only one there. Echo in the Ferrari, Rob Kaz and Oscar in the McLaren. They'll be looking to score some decent points here. Not a great start to the season for them. Shuriken and Luca in the Aston Martins, another team who probably not.
Yeah,
had
it did show
as
you
good
with
of
a
start
point,
to the
Red
season
Dog.
as they were expecting. Both of them going to be looking to bounce back. In the Alpine, we have JC, Rocket, and Red Dog in the Williams, and then the lone RB Downsy. Unfortunately, his teammate has
Nah,
is not able
don't
to race.
don't say
And
that,
then
Rob.
in
You'll
the
be
Sab,
surprised.
We have Salit, and then down at Haas, Dragonflies and AG, they're going to be looking to try and close the gap at the top in the constructors this race.
We certainly are.
But yeah.
Only one V-carb, which will hopefully help.
Zandvoort it's not the best track for overtaking. It is going to be quite a tricky one. 2 drivers taking qualifying bans. That's Echo and Havoc, and a 5-place grid penalty for Salit as well. So yeah.
Okay, so there is going to be a lobby reset to apply that to 5-place grid penalty.
Turn 11 can be a decent one as well. But yeah, the main one is turn 1 with the long DRS straight. The DRS actually starts before the final corner. And then you get a really long run all the way down to turn 1. Lots of slipstream as well. And then you have that banked corner, turn 3, going up the hill, then through turn 4, 5, 6, 7, all flat out. Small lift into turn 8, and then some light braking into turn 9. Get that turned in through turn 10 onto the second DRS straight. And then your foot to the floor once again, another potential overtaking opportunity into the chicane of turn 11 and 12. Round that 180-degree corner, and then you're heading to the final braking zone of the lap. Quite a tricky one to get right, turn 13, and then once again, foot to the floor. Yep. DRS opens on the exit, on the run, down towards turn number 1. We should be getting underway relatively soon. I think we're just waiting for a couple more people here.
I'm here.
And then we'll be able to get underway in qualifying. So we're waiting on JC.
So 1 Ferrari.
Downsy,
Josh is not with us.
Salit, I think are the 3 we're waiting on. Yeah.
So that'd be 15 drivers. So straight through to Q2, and then 2 drivers with a quali ban. So how are they going to work that, I wonder? I guess they're just going to have to deliberately disqualify themselves in Q2. Although there will be a lobby restart.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really, really exciting race. We have lots of drivers out in front who are going to be battling it out, and also some drivers like Echo and Havoc who are going to be coming through the field, trying to fight their way back through to take some...
Never say never, Red Dog. No, says Rob. I must remember to do my predictions. I've forgotten to do the race predictions. Well, if there's 2 people on a quali ban, so that's going to be only 3 people outgoing in Q2. So if a couple people make mistakes, you never know, Red Dog. I mean, even I made it to Q3 last time. So anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. 13 drivers now. Dragon is in. Let's have to do our best to improve Haas's position. It is a tricky track, Red Dog.
Okay, so I think we'll just wait a couple more minutes. Just while we see if we can get anybody else into the lobby. They will be able to join in qualifying.
Oh, I see.
If they do not make it in time. Oh yeah, this is going to be an interesting race. Qualifying could be quite important, but also it is quite easy to stay within the DRS. The DRS is very powerful at this track, so
yeah, it's easy if you don't make a mistake, Jocko.
Then it is
like I do, fairly frequently.
With the rest of them. But I think we're going to have quite a close fight. Rocket, Dragon, Shuriken.
Me or Red Dog?
Those 3 definitely out in front.
Yeah, same question, Rob.
Echo and Havoc can get through the field. They can also.
Let's hope so, Red.
Get through. So we will be starting in just a moment, just waiting quickly to see if either of the 2 are going to show up.
We will indeed see, Red Dog. Yes, don't be too confident, Rob.
Right, let's ready up now. I think we've waited long enough. We've given them 5 minutes. They will be able to join in qualifying. If they don't make it, then they should be able to join a little bit later as well. Just a reminder, while we do ready
Okay, let's
up,
run the
there will
quali
be a lobby
prediction.
restart,
What do we think will happen? I wouldn't select
after
out in
qualifying to
Q1
apply
because I
5
don't
minutes
think there will be a
penalty.
Q1.
And Echo and Havoc, you both have qualifying bans. Please make sure you disqualify yourselves.
So the options are out in Q2, 6th to 10th, or 1st to 5th. Is anyone else hearing those audio issues on the SDRL stream? It only seems to be Cert's intro. I wonder, is it the filters I've got applied? Oh, unlucky Rob. Thank you, Josh. Okay, in we go.
All right then. Welcome to Zandvoort. Quite an overcast day here. Still currently looking dry.
Thank you,
but
Mars.
we might be seeing some rain coming later on in the session. I am It's Chocolate and I will be taking you through today's qualifying session. I believe we have less than 16 drivers. So if once we do get in, please could everybody
Take it
retire
easy, Rob.
from Q1 just so we can move on quickly through. So this qualifying session could be quite important and not the easiest track
See
to
what the weather's
overtake at.
looking like.
But yeah, then again, it could give us opportunities for overtakes. There are still overtaking spots on this track. It isn't like Monaco, where it's pretty much impossible to overtake.
So potentially a dry to wet race.
But yeah, there's one primary overtaking spot down into turn 1, and it is still possible to pull overtakes off in other spots. There is quite a lot of slipstream on this track. Given the high wings, it can always throw up some interesting opportunities. Down into turn 7, quite often you see somebody getting alongside, which can spice things up. So let's see. Just
Be
waiting.
interesting
Make
if
sure
someone
everybody
goes
can
out
please retire from this session so we can
for
move
a
on
lap.
as soon as possible.
Who's that going out? Havoc, Salite. Oh, they're disqualifying themselves. That's fair enough.
So, Salite, please retire. I think Havoc's disqualifying himself. Okay, thank you. So it's Echo. If you want to disqualify yourself now, that's fine. And then just Red Dog, who needs to retire. Just waiting for these two drivers.
There goes Echo to retire. Sorry, to disqualify himself, hopefully.
Okay, cool.
So that will leave us with 11 cars in Q2. Is that right?
If it's easier, okay, you can also just go backwards. I don't know if we're getting the countdown.
There we go.
But yeah. anyway, that will be the end of Q1. Quickly moving on into the next session. Hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 more drivers
P4,
joining us,
woohoo!
by the time we get to the race.
So yeah, only 11 drivers in Q2.
But yeah. So Echo and Havoc will be out as they had qualifying bans. The rest will move on into the next session. Only 1 driver is going to get eliminated unless we see a couple more drivers joining. Yeah.
And you join in Q2.
So we're going to be seeing almost everybody making it into Q3 here. So, yeah. Now we head into Q2, and once again, a dry session. Apparently a dry quali throughout. I hear talks that there might be some rain coming in the race, which will spice things up a little bit. One driver who does have some very good pace, but does seem to struggle a little bit in wet conditions is Shuriken. We've seen him have really good pace, actually. He was on pole by a couple of tenths of a second in Canada, and then just was not able to keep up in the wet conditions. Eventually he ended up Silverstone, he couldn't keep up in the wet conditions. Yeah, Canada, I think there was actually also some rain. We've had quite a lot of rain in the Gold Series so far. The rain gods really wanting some exciting racing. I think we might be getting some more today. Anyway, Q2, 15 minutes on the clock. And...
No, don't load your Britain setup, AD. I'm glad I checked that.
Okay, Echo and Havoc, you might need to disqualify yourself again. If you can just do that quickly, then that would be great. Wasn't expecting. Actually, you can just
Thanks,
retire.
Josh.
That's probably the safer way to do it, so we don't have cars going backwards and stopping on track. If you both just retire, you'll be eliminated from the session. We're having a lobby restart, so we can put each other back anyway. So first out on track is Shuriken in the Aston Martin coming into turn 7 now. On his first set of soft compound tyres, with only 1 driver getting eliminated, he'll probably be hoping to get into Q3 with 1 set of tyres. 12 minutes on the clock actually for Q3 could give drivers a chance to do 3 laps. So, yeah, thank you for stopping Echo and Havoc as well. Well, we have yellow flags down at turn 2. I think that's just AD getting out of the way there. So, Shuriken coming to start his first flying lap of the session now, heading down towards turn 1. Tarzan flicking in. You've got to be careful not to hit that grass on the outside. If you do touch that, it can cost you a couple of tenths as you head through the corner into turn 2 now. And then into the banks, turn 3. It's quite a fun corner to drive, but really tricky to get right. And now we wind our way through turn 4, turn 5, and turn 6.
No, I don't think you did, Echo, don't worry.
First sector split complete there. Into turn 7 now, flat out in these F124 cars, and turn 8 as well.
Yeah, I got that. The game's always going to...
turn 9. Got to be careful not to get on that curb.
Ghost you, I would hope,
wide
in that situation.
Lots of time. And now onto the second DRS straight. DRS open on the Aston Martin. Sector 2 split. I haven't got the lap data up. There we go. And now just a couple more corners left to go of the lap. Coming into the final braking zone. DRS opens up on the exit here. And now it is flat out to the line.
Thank you. Let's
see what time Shuriken can put on the board. And it is a 109.7.
Car ahead of me. I hope they're going to get out of the way.
Of the session. Next car is going to be one of the Red Bulls. It's Jack. He says a 110.4. Goes second fastest. And then we have the Williams of Rocket. DRS open on his car now as well. Fiber not too far behind as well, coming to the line. And Rocket is going to cross with a 110.5. Only third fastest so far. He'll probably be looking for a second lap. Fiver across the line, just that's a 118.6. Looks like it was a second out lap for him. AD, oh no, that's not AD, that's Dragon starting a lap. We have AD on a lap here, along with Xbox just in front. lock up of one of the cars. I think that was AD's car there. So Xbox out of the final corner now. Little bit squirrely on the exit. Has managed to get the power down there. So now up to the line. Can he put himself up into that top 2? No, he can't. It's a 1:11.7 so far for him. Again, another driver who's going to be looking for some improvement.
I'm not sure I selected hot lap then, did I?
1:11.2 and puts himself nicely up into P4. Next driver on a flying lap is going to be Rob, who's coming up.
So 1:11.2, a second and a half down
Williams,
on the current fastest lap.
Sets of 1:17. And then we'll have the Fiber. I think that's Rocket just in front on an in lap. So Fiber's going to pick up a bit of a slipstream here on his attempt. Might give him a place or two in the runnings.
1:09.7 fastest. I'm on 1:11.2, so almost exactly
1:97 goes
second and a
fastest by
half.
0.04 of a second. Just beats out Shuriken. And then up to the line, Dragonfly's at 1:10.4. So that top 2 doing really well. The next guys behind quite a bit off the pace compared to them. So they're going to be looking for some improvements later on. We'll head down to Red Dog now, who is coming down towards turn number 11. This tricky chicane. Got to be careful not to go into that gravel, because that can cost you a lot of time on the exit. A little bit of a snap of oversteer there for the Williams driver. One more acceleration zone to go though, and he gets it down nicely. DRS opened quite late there for the Williams driver, but now heading towards the start finish line. Red Dog sets a 1:15.6. Another driver who's going to be looking for some improvement later on in the session. Rob now on his lap. No, he's 9 seconds down. Is that? Looks like he's going for another one. Salit goes 6th fastest with a 1:11.80. And that's a pretty decent lap.
I think someone just crashed into the pit exit there.
And next car to the line. Who are we looking at here? Dragonflies, I think, on in the lap though. Or are you going for another push lap? He is staying out for another push
car
lap.
in front.
Okay, so that's one to watch a bit later on. Xbox a couple seconds down. He's on it in a lap. Is anybody on a push lap currently? Red Dog 1.5 seconds up. He is pushing on. So we can watch on board with the Williams car. Although, is he slowing down? It's hard to tell from those back shots. He's lost a couple tenths in that middle sector. But still a couple seconds up for him. And now through the final few corners up to the line. That red light is flashing. He's going to be losing a bit of time with that battery. But up to the line to set a 1:14.1. Still a couple seconds off the likes of AD. Rob up to the line now to set a 1:11.0. Goes up to 6th fastest. As it stands, Oscar is the driver who will be eliminated from the session, but he is yet to set a lap time. So expect some improvements from him to come as he now starts his first lap of the session.
So that was a 1:10.9. That's 1.2 now.
He is just about to start a lap. Most of the drivers out on track now. It's only Fiverr and Xbox in the pit lane currently. Oh, and a crash for Oscar. Looked away for just a moment. Looks like he's made a mistake down at turn 3 and lost his end plate. So that is his lap over. Rocket coming through on a lap currently. You see, there should be enough time on the clock for Oscar to go back into the pits, fix his front wing, and go for another lap if he needs to. 7 minutes, there's plenty of time left. So I expect he will be coming back into the pit lane at some point. Anybody on lap? Shuriken might be on a lap here. Nope, he's into the pit lane. We've got Rob into the pit lane as well. Salit. Oh, Salit hit the wall. Salit coming around the final corner, hits the barrier. He has continued on though. So yes, I think we are going back towards Rocket here. For the next car to finish a lap. His teammate just in front won't be able to give him a slipstream. Might have given him a bit of a scare there coming out of that final corner. His teammate, I think, ran out of fuel. Rocket goes third fastest with a 1:09.9 and putting the pace out there now. One of the Hash drivers crossing the line, that was Dragonfly, set to 1:10.3. An AD, I think, was improved there. Not sure if that was a cooldown lap or not. Lock up into turn 3. Not ideal for the Brit. He is still pushing on. Is he on a pressure lap here? He's a 10th down, maybe still pushing on hard. Let's see how the rest of the lap goes for AD. We also have Xbox. He's just come out of the pit lane onto the track. Another lock-up. He seems to be really struggling with that. A couple of times I've seen maybe making lock-ups into some of these heavier braking zones. He might pick up a bit of a slipstream off of his teammate in front as well, as he now comes towards the final sector of this lap. Can he find some improvements? He's currently in P6, which is actually quite a good position when you look at the drivers we have on this grid. But AD now up to the line. He is picking up the slipstream off of his teammate. Across the line, he doesn't find the time though. Stays a 10th down on his previous lap. A 1:10.9 stays his fastest lap of the session so far. Let's
So
head
1:10.9, what have I got behind me?
Who is on his outlap preparing to start what could be his final lap of the session. I don't know how much fuel he has in the car. We have 5 minutes left on the clock. Oscar is also out.
We'll take a look when we get in the pits.
With Xbox,
but I suspect that should.
That Aston Martin has seemed like a good car to drive so far.
There's only, they're only a couple of tenths behind me that I can see down to P9.
But into turn 1, a little bit of a lock up there. Keeps it under control though. Down towards turn 2. Try and keep it stable. We saw Oscar going off there. And once again, another driver struggling on the brakes into turn 3. We saw AD locking up. We've seen Xbox locking up as well. I think that might be something that plays quite a big factor in this race. Tyre management with quite a lot of lockups here. Almost matching his sector 1 though, just marginally down by a couple hundredths of a second there. So good lap so far from Xbox. Oscar is just about to start his lap as well. A bit wide there through turn 9 for the Aston Martin driver. I think braking is probably one of the weak points of some of these drivers. I've seen quite a few drivers struggling with it. The battery is flashing. Has he backed off? I think he might have. He's now 7/10 of a second down. Well, we'll round out this lap before we head down over to Oscar in the McLaren to see how he's getting on his attempts here.
Yeah, so not an awful lot gap behind me unless Red Dog
up the line, no. Loses 2
I can't see who's in P10 at the moment.
Over to Oscar now to see how he's getting on as he comes into turn 9 here.
We'll put a fresh set of tyres on, then have a quick look at the times.
A pretty decent lap for the McLaren driver. DRS open now on the run down towards turn 11. Don't really have any sectors to refer to though, so unfortunately won't really be able to tell how he's doing. A little bit of oversteer there on the exit of turn 12 into 13 now, and up to the line we go. How can he do? Can he get himself into that zone?
We can always do our warm-up lap, and if it looks like we're in
just a couple tenths ahead of his teammate.
in danger. So Red Dog is currently in 11th, unless he can make a big recovery, a big improvement.
We've got 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Still time for the Williams driver to get out onto track, but and actually he is heading out to track as I say that. If he is unable to find the 3 seconds to Xbox, then Red Dog will be eliminated from qualifying, unfortunately. Everybody else will be able to continue on safely. Xbox into the pit lane now. We have a Haas car stopped. That's Dragonflies. I think he might have run out of fuel. Heading back to the pit lane, going very slowly. Who do we have on laps then? Is Rob on a lap here potentially? DRS open on the McLaren. Let's see. Up to the line, is he going to find an improvement? No, he's not. A couple of seconds down. Next car is the Red Bull of Jax. He's on an out lap, and then it's Oscar, who we've already seen just finish the lap. And then we have Rocket. He looks like he's on an out lap. Oh, Dragonflies retires in the pit lane. He thinks he is safely through on
Red Dog doesn't want to be in front of me.
Rocket and Fiber are all also safely through as a result. So none of them need to do any further laps in this session. Fiber retires. I expect we'll see Shuriken and Rocket retiring soon. Rocket currently still out on track though, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer. And Rocket getting ready to actually, I think, to give his teammate a bit of a tow here to try and get him out of this first qualifying session now as they head down the start-finish straight. The two Williams drivers together lining themselves up for a tow down towards turn 1. Rocket going to dive out of the way here now, and hopefully that could be the helping hand that his teammate needs to try and get himself out of Q2 and into that top 10 shootout. Xbox is also out on track. Jack retires. Oscar is now safe along with Dragonflies. They are confirmed into Q3.
30 seconds left in the session.
I think this is the one that everybody wants to watch though. Red Dog pushing on hard. He needs to find 3 seconds. And that is not what we want to see. 2/10 down through Sector 1. As it stands, definitely not going to be making it out. Not finding enough time so far. The Haas car. Oh, I think that's AD's had a spin down at turn 8 on the exit there. Might have just gone to that inside curb and lost the car. Red Dog still continuing on though. But I don't think he's going to be finding enough time. 6/10 up through the middle sector. He is finding some improvements, but might only be able to crack a 112 here.
Right, so what have I done to these tyres then?
Let's see, maybe he had a big mistake in that final sector. Can he find
3%, so these should be good for my first run in
Final
Q3.
banked corner now, up to the line. The time is ticking on, and I don't think he's done it. No, he hasn't. It's only a 1:13.3 for Red Dog. He is out of Q2 here. Everybody else does make it through into the next qualifying session. The top 10 shootout, that will decide pole position. But your top 2 separated by 0.04 of a second. Fiber in front of Shuriken. That does bode well for us in this final qualifying session.
So
Gonna be a close one, I think.
not a great final lap. I hope in my recovery there I didn't cause any issues. Red Dog, you went past me as I was recovering there. I didn't cause you any problems, did I hope? Appreciate that was your last attempt, so apologies if I did screw it up somewhat.
A 10.5 faster than Fiber now with the outright fastest time in Q2.
So 109.6 and I did a 110.9, so 1.3.
Not on his watch.
Not terrible, not quick by any stretch,
we
but
head into the results screen and then towards Q3.
So the question is, what's the weather going to hold in the race? Oh, thanks. That's good news, Red Dog. I'm glad to hear that.
So
Dragon
the results
P4
of Q2 in the end, Shuriken did manage to put another
what, 7/10 down on
spot in the end. Did
the
not
top
want
spot
to let Fiber get away with that. So Shuriken P1, Fiber 2, Rocket 3, Dragonflies 4, Oscar, Jack, Rob, Salid, AD, Xbox. The 3 drivers we do lose are Red Dog, Havoc, and Echo. Havoc and Echo both had qualifying bans, and Red Dog was unable to put a fast enough time together, unfortunately. So we shall see.
Can someone check in the SDRL channel if there is going to be a lobby restart, because someone's got a 5-second grid drop, if I recall. If someone could confirm that, that would be nice.
So now, heading into Q3, it's quite difficult to call it. It's actually getting...
There is a restart, thanks Mars.
Here at the Zandvoort track, it was very overcast at the start of Q1. Looked like it was almost about to rain. But I would say Shuriken's probably the favourite for pole here. I think Fiber and Rocket can both put up a challenge. But I would say on outright pace, what's 1 lap pace in the dry, Shuriken probably has got this one under control. Maybe only by a 10th or 2, but that could be all it takes to take the pole position here. As for the race pace, it could be a different story. But 12 minutes on the clock, there is potentially enough time. I think we saw in the Diamond Series 1 driver completing 3 runs in Q3. So if you do have those tyres saved up, which some of them might have, I think Fiber only did 1 lap. You could use 3 tyres in this session, or maybe you could save 1 for the race, expecting some sort of safety car at some point.
Come in and let us have a look at the setup.
Here we go now, heading out onto track. Lots of drivers going out early on here. The first driver, though, to go on track is one of the Aston Martins. It is Shuriken, closely followed behind by one of his rivals, Rocket. And then we have Salit, and then the two Red Bulls of Fiber and Jack, and then the McLaren of Rob. The other three just taking their time a little bit in the pit lane. Maybe don't want to use as many tyres. Maybe you're going to go for one run in this session. So, Shuriken and Rocket both quite close together here in the early stages of this Q3 session. I expect Rocket will drop back a little bit further on. So here we go now. Actually, Rocket has gone past the front of Shuriken. Let's head over to the Brits then. And see how he can get on. So down towards turn 1. Shuriken's going to be picking up some slipstream off the back of Rocket here. Could aid him at his pole position chances. Maybe a tactical decision to let Rocket go past. Now through turn 2 and 3. Rocket, before he was getting out of shape, I think it might have been a bit of lag there. But now, here we go through turn 4, 5, 6, and now into 7. Oh, wrong button there.
Messed that up there.
My bad on that one.
Setting my overtake, my
ERS
mode wrong.
Up there of the brakes. Rocket continues on though. No harm done. Now through 9-10. This is the section that Shari would have been struggling with that slipstream. Would have been giving him quite a lot of dirty air, but he will reap the benefits at the end of this lap.
Not great at turn 3 or 4, whichever one that one is. And now up to the line. Rocket sets a 1:09.8, and Shuriken into the pit lane actually. Did he have an invalidation? Fiber sets a 1:09.6, and Dragon a 1:10.0, Jack a 1:07.7. 1:10.7, sorry. So, who do we have on laps still? AD looks like he's coming to finish his lap up to the line, and he sets a 1:11.1, 5th fastest currently for him, but potential for improvement later on. Xbox has just started a lap as well, AD getting out of the way very nicely there for him, and Rob coming through the middle sector right now. Let's see how he's getting on. Little lock up there into turn number 10. Let's see, 49.2, not the fastest first 2 sectors we've seen, but still looking pretty decent. Maybe to set a 1:10 here. Coming through the final sector now. So, ideally, I'd like to get at least up to the 1:10. Was it 1:10.7 I did in Q1?
10.9 goes 5th fastest as a result. And then we have Xbox on a lap as well. Lock up into turn 11 there. Kept it on the track though. And now just 2 corners left to go in the lap. Another lock up for Aston Martin. I think we're seeing him have a few lockups in Q2 as well. Anyway,
screwed up the last corner again on the starting the lap.
For him with a 1:10.9. And as we were expecting really, this qualifying is quite close. That top, a little bit split, a little bit more than we were expecting, but Shuriken still yet to set a time. He might be able to get in there and challenge, but 5th, 6th, 7th, all and 8th, separated by just over 0.2 of a second. Xbox, yeah, he's just finished his lap. Salit and Shuriken both on lap. Salit actually not improving, so let's head over to Shuriken now. As he makes his way through, can he challenge the likes of Rocket and Fiver out in front? Can he put this one together? Rocket is on an outlap just in front, so Shuriken might pick up another slipstream here. as they head down towards turn 7. Rocket gets out of the way quite early. Doesn't want to give any advantage to his rivals. And now into turn 7, 8 and 9. Once again, a couple cars in front. Oh, we got a spinner! One of the hash drivers spinning in front of Shuriken. Surely that's going to have distracted him on his lap a little bit.
Not me for a change.
That might have been AD. I'm not 100% sure who that was.
Not me, Choco, sorry.
Dragonflies was on an out lap. AD was on a push lap. Well, we'll see in a second. Does Dragonflies start a lap now? No, that was Dragonflies. That was Dragonflies. That was surprising.
Everyone just assumes it's me that spins.
On an out lap. Well,
right, I think we'll pit now, put those new tyres on.
Finish line, Shuriken across the line, only second fastest, but once again, look how close it is out in front. 109.659 for Viper, 109.678 for Shuriken.
Realistically, I'm P9 or 10 is the best I can expect.
5 minutes left on the clock. Shuriken might have just enough time to go out for one more lap. But Shuriken probably feeling like he could have beaten Viper's time there without the interference of Dragonflies. Let's have a look at what Rocket can do. Can he find the couple of tenths he needs? 3 tenths down through sector 1. Not ideal for the Williams driver. Not going to be what he was looking for on this lap. Oh, and that's an invalidation. He was pushing the limits there into turn 8 and maybe tried to keep it flat. I'm not too sure. And has invalidated as a result. Dragonfly's right behind. He is also still on his push up. He's going to pick up some slipstream off the Williams that gets out of the way very quickly. So let's see how his Dragonfly's doing. He's a 10th.
I did something like a 110.7 in
Q2.
So I've still got a few tenths.
So now, just one braking zone left to go. DRS will open up now. And Dragonfly's first to the floor, to the line we go. Can he improve his time? Can he beat out Rocket here? Yes, he can. A 109.8 for
so 110.7. Sorry, yeah, 110.7 would put me up sort of 5th or 6th at the moment. I can only assume the others are going to improve from that.
McLaren,
it's just a question whether I can achieve it or not.
Sauber, McLaren. Oscar once again yet to set a lap. He is currently coming through the final sector now. But as we saw in Q2, he did leave it quite late to set his first lap. This might be his one and only lap. Looks like he's
is it Salit who's got the 5-place grid drop, actually?
One more try. So that does put the pressure on for him quite a lot. Oh no, he's continuing on. He's gonna stay out on track. I assume he has the fuel for that. So he will stay down in 10th fastest. We have anybody on a lap? Jack, I believe, is on a lap currently pushing. Or maybe, no, I think he just found a couple tenths. Yes, he's down quite a lot now. Rob.
Apparently they've made some changes to the way ERS works in this season. I wish they'd tell us that.
Retired. Jack's crashed down at turn 8 on the entry. Are we going to pick that up here? Not quite. We tried to catch it, but I think he just lost it. Maybe he touched the curb. Jack is out of qualifying. So he's going to be starting P5 at best. Rob continuing on still. So, yeah, P5 at best for Jack. He's currently on a 10.3.
I'm not sure he's mentioned it, actually, Corn.
Half a second here if he wants to try and beat that. Currently half a second.
It's the sort of thing you'd think they'd tell us.
Find that time, at least on this lap. Let's head to Salit.
P7.
On a cool-down lap. Oscar also on another cool-down lap. This can't be between his tyres too much good, just going around lapping over and over again. 2 minutes 20 left in the session. Let's see. So Shuriken and Dragon still in the pit lane. I expect they'll be heading out onto track very soon.
Wiggle, wiggle.
But Oscar really needs to put this lap together soon. Otherwise he's just going to run out of time. He can probably afford to do one more. Oh no, never mind. That is lag. Unfortunately, I think my game is being a bit laggy today. Everybody seems to be lagging around a little bit. It's a bit off-putting, but we will make do, I guess.
One too many gear change there.
So let's see, Oscar 1.8 seconds up. I assume most of the time was gone in the final sector, but it looks like he is on for a nice lap here. Hopefully gonna elevate himself up, maybe into P5, maybe P4. Salit goes 6th fastest, Rob goes 6th fastest, and just going marginally ahead, and they're not able to beat Jack's time. Oscar can though, he says a 1:10.734, 100th faster than Jack managed, up into P5 now. Xbox is down on his time, he's not improving. Rocket is on a lap, this might be his final lap of the session here.
Oh well.
As he comes up, no, he's down on his time. I think must be going for starting his lap now. We have the Haas.
One more.
No, oh, AD's had a spin there. Dragonflies goes 3rd fastest. Was he already there? I don't know. I'm confused now. No,
Not got much ERS, sadly.
So AD will be starting his final lap of the session now. That spin might have knocked his confidence a little bit. Who is going to be the first to the line then? It's all a little bit confusing with people starting laps at different times. Both McLarens, I believe, are done with their session along with Salit. So it's going to be Shuriken, no. Oh, that's Xbox. Xbox off down at turn 8. I think that might be his lap over best he's going to be managing. I think it's P9. We see when he gets to the split line, has he lost a lot of time here? I saw some yellow flags. Yes, 3 seconds down for him. So we head over to Rocket now. 3/10 down through sector 1. He's finding the time in the middle sector though, but he still needs to find a decent chunk more if he wants to try and challenge Dragonflies, and quite a lot of time in this final sector. He wants to be challenging for pole position. 2 corners left to go for the Williams driver, and it's a spin! Rocket loses the car through the penultimate corner. That is qualifying over for the Williams driver. Can Dragonflies or Shuriken fight back against Fiber to take away this pole position from him? Dragonflies to the line. No, he doesn't improve. 600ths down on his lap. Next driver to the line is going to be Lone Fiber. Can he extend his lead and take provisional pole? Yes, he can. It's a 1:09.6 for him. Shuriken to the line. Can he beat it? No, he can't. Misses out by a 1/10 of a second.
Oh,
Does
well,
not
I
find
think
the
I
improvement. And then we
improved,
look
but
to
not
AD, the last
by
driver to cross the
anywhere
line.
near
He
enough.
finds a bit of time, but not enough to find him a place.
Oh well, P10.
So there we have it. Qualifying over. Oh no, Shuriken did find the time. Sorry. I've completely messed that one up. Oh no. Shuriken did find the time. I got the times mixed up there. Shuriken sets pole position.
Thank you for sorting out the viewers call.
Yeah, my bad,
Viewers
guys.
seller.
I was misreading that one. Yeah, Shuriken takes pole position. Beats Fiber out by a 1/10 of a second.
So I think Salit has a 5-second grid penalty, so that pops me up a place.
Yeah. And yeah, so let's just...
Hey, nice one, Red Dog.
Let's just wait and see this
Let's
results
run the
screen.
race prediction.
There we go.
Before I
Shuriken
forget.
with the fastest
So we've
time
got
of the
options
session. Takes
DNF,
pole position
16th to
here in
20th,
Zandvoort.
11th to
Fiber with
15th,
P2,
6th to
10th,
10th,
could
or
not
1st
quite
to
go
5th.
together on that final lap.
Place your bets, everybody.
To beat out the Aston Martin driver. Dragonflies in P3, then Rocket, who spun on his final lap. They could not put the improvement together. Then Oscar, Jack, Rob, Salit, Rob, AD. Yes, we will be having a lobby restart, so please
So there is a lobby
retire the
restart.
cars,
Okay.
so that we can apply this grid penalty. If Downsy or JC are here, then we can get you in now as well to start down at the back.
My wheel rotation is 360, I think. It's probably more me trying to use too much throttle to try and make up the... ads. I'll wait then, Gravy Rain. So starting, I think, P9, for those of you that can still hear me. Ad break will be over soon. May as well get a practice starting. So Gravy Brain, I think you should be back from the ads now, if you could confirm. I will continue what I was saying to you. Oh well, I got half a start done.
Okay, there's been an incident accident on track resulting in loose debris.
So yeah, my wheel
Marshals
rotation I
managed to
think is set to
clear up in time, and there are
360.
so far no plans for a safety car.
I'm not going to play with it now, just in case I accidentally change it. Yeah, I think my wheel rotation's set to 360. The FIA, what for that start? I'm not sure who I rammed, but yeah, someone's completely broadside in front of me. It could well have been you, Rob. Oh, that was you, Red Dog. Oh, okay, fair enough. And Dragon's off in the wall. Well done, Rob. I was trying to do a practice start there. You screwed that up for me. How did I get that far before retiring? Oscar wins. Woohoo! That's Dragon on the podium, isn't it? Not me. Yeah, I finished 11th. God, that's terrible. Just out of the points. Well done, Rob. Well done. It was Oscar, wasn't it, who got the points? Okay, so yeah, the prediction is still running, I think. Feel free to get your votes in. We've got Corn here, I know. I wonder if JBG's turned up yet. We'll have TTS off at the start, mods, if you wouldn't mind. So once the lights start to come on, I will go incommunicado for a little while. Once the race settles down, I'll try and get TTS back on so I can start responding to chat. Please accept my apologies, but I need to focus. You've seen how poor my driving is. I need all the help I can get. You too, Red Dog. Good luck, Rob. Good luck, everybody else, if anyone is watching my channel. So, strategy. Strategy. Yeah, I think I know what the sensible strategy to go for is. Not for me, Rob. No Mario Kart here. Fifteen's very late on the softs. You'll be up closer to 60% on the front left then, I think. How many laps is it? 36. Okay. I tend not to mess with fuel, to be honest. It makes such little difference to my times that it's hardly worth risking running out. Netherlands is quite high on fuel use, though, I think. 2.5 laps or 2.5 litres? Thank you. I appreciate the suggestions. Okay. So I think I'm going to be starting P9. Okay, Red Dog, will do. I'll be starting P9 out of, looks like there'll be 13. So I predict I'll be down in 12th or 13th by the end of the first lap, realistically. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, well, there were only 11 in Q2, Oscar, so... yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Discord for what, Rob? SDRL? New lobby. Okay, got it. Yeah, I assume I'll get an invite. New stickers available. Medium hard, Jay. I'm not sure. Hards are not great round here. I may as well do me stickers. Stamps in the game, if that's what you call them, but not not in real life. Sorry, should I? I assume I'm going to get an invite. Hopefully Choco's game isn't completely broken. Okay, invite received. There we go. Yeah, I could have done with a break for the loo. Usually I get a break for Q3. Sadly not today. Yeah. Assume Choco will set it to the correct cars at some point. He's probably inviting everybody first, isn't he? Five laps of Bahrain. That's going to be a short stream, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a bit frantic for Choco here because he's got a grid to edit as well. Yeah. Okay, so the cars are ready. We'll let Dragon be Magnussen. That's next week, isn't it? Where did I qualify 10th, Jack? I think someone ahead of me's got a 5-place grid drop though, so I think I'll be 9th. There were only 11 people in quali, so not great. But realistically, about what I would expect. I might occasionally be able to give Rob a run for his money, but everybody else is well ahead of me. So yeah, realistically, I think the best I was ever going to get was 9th or... Well, you never know, Rob. I don't know if... I was just saying, I can occasionally give you a run for your money in qualifying, but generally you're ahead of me. So the best I could realistically expect was 10th or perhaps 9th. So I'm not unhappy with my qualifying position. Okay, well, as long as people crash and don't take me out, I don't mind. So feel free. If you could crash into Rob, that'd help, Oscar. I don't know if you're near each other on the grid. Hey, well, you did last time, Red Dog. Yeah, have been unlucky though, Rob. Excellent. I like the sound of that, Oscar. If you could make that happen, then that would be good. More than happy doing a 36 lap demonstration run of how slow I am. What was that a clip of? That doesn't create an actual clip, Red Dog. That just saves it to my PC. So I'm hoping nobody will hit me and I won't hit anybody, but you'll all hit each other. Don't worry, Red Dog. That's fine. Yeah, I've been there, Oscar. I kept doing that.
Grid is set. I think we are all ready to get underway now. I believe we have all the drivers in now. So yeah, let's ready up and get back underway for the race.
Okay. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, Rod. Good luck, Red Dog. Good luck, Oscar. Good luck, anybody who else is in the race and listening. Go get him, Dragon. Where did Dragon qualify? About third. Oh, wow. No idea what that was supposed to say, Rod.
Just a reminder also, please do not ready up immediately. Give people time to put their setups on. I will let you know when to ready up.
So, how do the predictions look, mods? Anyone got me in the points? How's Choco got into the pit lane before me? Oh, he's the lobby host, isn't he? Of course. Take it easy, Oscar. Podium. Unlikely, Jack. Right, let's get the car set up on first. Yeah, don't like the look of those soft tyres. I think we're going to have to go for it though, aren't we? We'll see how we get on. We could always come in earlier. I think the mediums will last quite a long time.
All right, then let's slowly start to ready
We
up.
have got potential
so
rain
we
towards
can
the
get
end.
Underway here. 35 laps of racing to come. Potentially some rain coming at the end as well. It is definitely going to be an exciting one. Shuriken is starting from pole position with Fiber alongside, and then on the second row, Rocket. And
thanks for your faith, Jay.
In front for sure. It's going to be a really nice, exciting race. I think we're going to see action all through the field, all throughout the race, just as we did in Silverstone. There are the beeps. In just a moment, we'll be heading down to the grid to get underway here for the race here in Zandvoort.
TTS off mods, please.
All right, then here we go. The 5 lights are on. And we are underway here in Zandvoort. Decent start from the guys at the front. Looks like they've all got away quite well. Dragonflies looks like he's got a decent start, though. Heading into turn 1, he tries to go around the outside of Fiber. Looks like he's got the run on the outside, but can he get the exit? Doesn't look like he's quite got it, but now we head into turn 2. Dragon round the outside, up the inside now of the Red Bull. And they are struggling to fight this one out, but Dragonflies does get the move done up into P2 just momentarily, though, as now on the exit here comes Fiber battling it away now down towards turn number 7. He's got the inside line. Can he make it stick? Not quite, just about stays in front. Everybody now settling down in the middle sector. Much harder to make overtakes here. Rocket has been overtaken by Oscar. Unfortunately, him dropping down a position off the race start. But out in front, Shuriken, it's already breaking away. 1.3 seconds he has pulled so far. He has broken the DRS. That is crucial for him in this race. Salit is round. Salit sent spinning round in the background. And that is going to drop him down to the back. Let's get those tyres up so we can have a quick look at that. Most of the drivers starting on the soft compound tyres, but look at the gap Shuriken has after the end of lap 1. He is out flying in front. Here comes Oscar on Fiber now down towards turn 1, closing in on the Red Bull car. Not quite close enough for a move. Let's look at Echo as well. He's on a charge, starting from the back, trying to make his way back through to fight out in front where he thinks he deserves to be with his pace. Stuck in the traffic a little bit. A gap is starting to form in front of Xbox there, 1.6 seconds. But Echo will push on quite hard, trying to make it up. Rob putting pressure on Xbox as well, heading up the hill and now down into turn 7, closing in on the Aston Martin driver. Not close enough though to make a move. Out in front, Shuriken is absolutely flying. 1.9 seconds now is
Rob's
the gap
round.
he has to P2. He's pulling about a second per lap on all of these drivers. And yeah, doing a really good job. We have more yellow flags. Rob Kaz is round on the exit of turn 10. Kept the car going. Has he picked up some front wing damage? Let's have a look to that left-hand side. Looks like his end plate is still there. He should hopefully be continuing on a lock-up for good measure as well. But yeah, out in front, Shuriken absolutely flying along.
Echo was going in the pits.
Echo, who looks
Jeez,
like
that
he's
was
going to be making
almost...
some moves up here. Here comes AD. Oh, and Echo's slowing down. Echo's into the pit lane. Echo's missing his front end plate. Was he involved in a collision there with Rob? Not too sure. Here comes Salit on Red Dog, going for the move for P10 now. Around the outside into turn 1. Can he make that one stick? Mediums versus soft compound tyres. Salit gets that grip advantage and is up into P10 now. Dragonflies
Right, see
under
if
a
we can
lot of
close
pressure
up on
from Fiber
Xbox.
currently, as they head now down towards turn 7. Only a couple tenths separating the top three, second, third, and fourth here. And Dragon is going to be under a lot of pressure heading down the start finish straight with that DRS enabled. Still the tops, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are very close together. Shuriken starting to pull away, still out in front, despite the fact that the guys behind have got DRS. It really shows that he does have the pace here. Rocket under a lot of pressure now from the Red Bull of Jack.
Luca went off on the last
Might be
corner.
seeing an overtake here. Also further in front, might be seeing an overtake there for P2. There goes Fiber to the inside of Dragonflies. Is he going to get close enough? No, he doesn't. Havoc going for the move on AD though, and gets up nice and easily up into P7. So yeah, Dragonflies managing to hold on despite the DRS that Fiber have. I think some tactical ERS deployment going on here to try and maintain that P2 for the Haas driver. Shuriken is long checked out already. 3
Bit of a
seconds
mistake
up
there
the
from
road
Havoc.
now after 3 laps completed.
See if I
Absolutely
can
flying along out in
use
front.
it to get up a bit
Oh, we've
closer.
got the car off. Oscar off into the onto the grass. Rejoins the track, but he's lost a couple positions now to the likes of Rocket and Jack. Oh, something happening there with Jack as well. The lag really is not helping. But Oscar and Rocket now on the exit off turn 10, down towards 11, the chicane. Closing in Rocket around the outside, a little bit of contact between the pair of them. Oscar almost forces Rocket off the track, and then there's more contact as well. Now down towards the final corner. Oscar just manages to get ahead. Jack having a look to the inside of Rocket as well now. But no no move made there. Here comes Fiber now, gaining on Dragonflies with that DRS. He is going to try and make the move here. He gets the move done nice and easily into turn 1. Further, we'll look back down towards Oscar and Jack getting past Rocket here. Yeah, unfortunately, Bowie, I'm having a couple issues with the internet. I think it's lagging quite a lot right now. Not ideal. AD under pressure as well here from Xbox. Lots of battles all throughout the pack. Oh, Cargo slowly again. Oscar off the track, 2 laps in a row there, down at turn 7. Is he just losing the rear end there or something? Not too sure what's going on. Once again, we see Rocket and Oscar wheel to wheel through this section of corners. This time around, though, Rocket will have the inside line for turn 11. He is going to send it to the inside, I would expect, and does get the move done. Oscar having a look for a switchback, though. Does manage to get that car really nicely turned and back past the Williams driver. Now Dragonflies once again swapping positions with Fiber. 2 and 3, swapping positions multiple times here. Down towards turn 1, Rocket gets back past Oscar. Oscar goes late on the brakes with those soft compound tyres, tries to squeeze his way around. A little bit of contact there, but Rocket comes out ahead. And Havoc, after a qualifying ban up to P6 now on lap 6, he has been flying through the field. And now, yeah, in this lead fight, that is really good for him. We're seeing a couple splittings in the pack though. Obviously the gap between Shuriken and Dragonflies. Then also the 2 Rebels split by quite a big gap. And then you look further back, small gaps between them, and then you have the gap between AD and Salit. So they are starting to separate a little bit, but overall we are still seeing plenty of battles on track. And despite the lag, it is still definitely an enjoyable one to watch. Fiber was closing in there on the back of Dragonflies, not quite able to make a move there. Probably not wanting to make a move either, because he will want that DRS down the start finish. Rocket and Jack's made a mistake, and that's allowed Rocket and Havoc through. Who's picked up DRS though? Rocket does not have DRS. This could be a chance. Fiber gets back past Dragonflies once again, and Jack into the pit lane. Has he picked up some front wing damage there? Potentially. I would expect so. That would probably explain why he's coming into the pits this early. Mediums should be able to make it to the end from here, whether there is potentially some rain on the way in the later stages of the race, which will spice things up quite a lot. Unfortunately, this middle sector is so narrow, it's quite tricky to make any overtakes. Does mean that you see lots of DRS overtakes for a few seconds in the lap, and then just cars following for the rest. I don't particularly enjoy this track either.
Almost got screwed by the Turbo Doom there.
Yeah, still does sometimes give us some exciting racing, especially like 2023. We saw some rain, we saw some action. So, coming to the end of lap 7 now. Just about 20% of the way through this race. Shuriken leads by 4 seconds. From Fiber and Dragonflies, they are battling it out. Fiber just managing to hold on to that position there. Then Havoc, who has managed to make up some position. Rocket to the inside of the Mercedes. Not quite able to make a move into turn 1 there. And then Oscar, AD, Xbox, Salit, Rob, Red Dog, Echo and Jack. Echo and Jack both making pit stops early on. I think suspected damage for those 2 cars, which explains the reason for their pit stops. So Havoc now up to 4th place, but he does have quite a considerable gap to close to get up to P3 Dragonflies. So gonna be a bit of a tricky one, especially as he does have those medium tyres compared to Dragon's soft tyres. The tyre wear is not very big here, so it's gonna take a while for those soft tyres to slow down to the point where Havoc is gonna be able to catch up, which could mean we're gonna see some pressure put on by Rocket here. Salit looks to have had a spin there. He has managed to get going once again. Another driver
Xbox
losing
off
out
on the penultimate
down
corner.
at that corner. I don't think he's got any damage though. But here comes Dragonfly staying on the bumper of Fiber. They're not going for the overtake, just sitting in behind. Here comes Rocket to the inside of the Mercedes driver. And that is going to be P4 once again for him. Gets the move back done. Once again up into P4. AD's managed to drop Xbox, I've just seen as well, starting to pull away, securing himself a nice P7 as it stands. Very nice job from him. Just thinking about tyre strategy, I'm trying to think back to the Diamond race. I think we started seeing the first pit stops off the soft tyres were probably around lap 10. Most of the drivers came off somewhere around lap 15. So yeah, still definitely plenty of time left in these tyres. I think we're going to see a soft medium from pretty much everybody here, or a medium soft, depending on which tyre you started on, to take you to the rain. And a mistake for Rob down at turn 9. He might have gone to that curb. Oh, and Echo's done the exact same thing, I think. I think that is what Rob just did. We've just seen Echo recreating it kindly for us. Both drivers going off down out that corner. Once again, out in front. Oh! That was a car going wide there down at turn 1.
Wasn't me for a change.
An Xbox into the pit lane. Maybe wing damage on his car. Maybe got caught up in an incident with the Hash driver, but not too sure. We didn't really catch anything happening there. Salit does stay out, so I expect no damage on his car.
Wasn't my fault, Choco.
So once again, Fiber in P2.
Apologies, whoever that first-time chatter is. I'm a little bit busy.
Hold on. It seems that Dragon is
Thank you for taking the time to join in, though.
To go for that overtake. Doesn't really want to have any unnecessary fighting. Maybe he wants to try and catch up to Shuriken. That gap to Shuriken in the last 4 laps has not really changed at all. Shuriken was pulling away about a second a lap in the opening stages while these guys were fighting. And since then, it has decreased and potentially even starting to catch a little bit, maybe on this lap. But let's see.
So I'm definitely dropping back from the cars ahead
to
now.
The right-hand side, to the inside of the Rebel driver, and up into P2.
Close to a second, half a second.
I think there was for Fiber, which did cost him the place. Rocket also making an overtake on Havoc here. On the exit of turn 1 though, Havoc does get the power down a bit better now through turn 2, and there's contact! Rocket gets spun by Havoc, and he loses the place to Oscar as a result. No, he doesn't. He just manages to hold on, but he has lost about a second or so of time here, and obviously the position to Havoc. He is not going to be too happy with that one. Fiber all over the back.
Okay, Mod, I think we could have TTS on for a bit.
Almost went into the back of him there, actually. He was gaining that much time through the middle sector. The gap now to
10
Shuriken
minutes for
is
rain.
5.3 seconds. Shuriken has gained a second on this lap as a result of their squabbling.
I can't realistically make my tyres last another 6, 7 laps.
They do need to start working together. I think it's definitely not helping them. There are 3 drivers so far.
Thank you, JVG.
Pit stops in this race, and they are all running down at the back. Everybody in the points has yet to make a pit stop. Here comes Fiber, had a look to the inside, not quite close enough for a move. Here comes Rocket though, on Havoc, once again, making the move into turn 1. Can Havoc try and get that switchback like we've seen him do a couple of times? No, not quite. Rocket does maintain that P4 position this time around. This battle has been going on for a long time. I think they've probably given up on trying to catch and are just having some fun out there. Echo gets past Red Dog. Was there a mistake for the Williams? It looked like it was quite far back when I last checked.
Pieces.
But Echo now up into the points positions once again after he did have that early pit stop. It looked like he's having quite a good start to the race, and then things started falling apart a little bit. Had that mistake as well down at turn 8, which cost him a bit of time. Now Dragonflies and Fiber once again. These two still close together, but still losing time to Shuriken. 6.1 the gap now. They're almost losing a second lap once again. I think that might be to do with the tyre wear that's just started to kick in. Looks like Shurker might be getting faster and faster as the tyres get slower and slower. Shouldn't be too long before we start seeing people in for pit stops as well. Here comes Fiber now to the inside and up past Dragonfly.
10 to 15 minutes. I think it's probably worth changing.
Secured. Relatively easy move for him. Havoc also gets the move on Rocket. Rocket going a little bit wide to try and potentially set up something on the exit. No move made there though.
I might as well get some use out of the mediums before we have to pit for anything wet related.
But has recovered quite nicely. Rob has closed in on Salit as well after his mistake, and potentially could be looking for an overtake at some point here soon. Rocket closing in. Here he comes to the inside of Havoc. Was there a mistake for the Mercedes? Rocket seems to be closing very quickly.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Through the middle sector, not a place where you usually see a moves happening though. Rocket back up into P4. Oh! Nope, never mind, that was lag. I thought we just saw Rocket having a big crash there, but that was just the lag.
And gap to the car in front,
Quite annoying.
8.2 seconds.
But it is what it is, I guess. Can't really do anything about it.
Right, let's get rid of these tyres.
Might see a swap of positions for these guys. Here comes Havoc to the inside of Rocket. Down the inside. Can he make that one stick? Takes a very tight line on the inside there, right up on that curb. And now down towards turn 2, has to slot in behind AD into the pit lane on the end of lap 13. So maybe we're going to see some more drivers in to the pits as well around this time. Seems like it's a pretty decent time. Fit the mediums and you can easily make it to that period of rain if that rain is going to come. You should safely make it towards that. Rob and Salit fighting into turn 2 and 3. Echo just about comes out ahead of AD. And up the hill now between Salit and Rob. Who is going to get this one on the run down towards turn 7? Looks like Rob has the better straight line speed, but it's going to be the inside for the next few corners for Salit as they head now down into turn 7. Who's going to get this one on top? Looks like Salit has it. Rob's going to try and hold it around the outside though. Now as we head down towards turn 8, Rob has that outside line once again, just keeps it on the track, and now into 9. They keep wheel to wheel for about 5 or 6 corners, still going wheel to wheel now as we head into turn 10. Rob goes a little bit deep, going to give Salit a chance on the inside, but he spun round. Salit overcooks it and spins himself on the apex of the corner, loses a couple of positions as a result. We have Shuriken and Dragonflies into the pit lane here on the end of lap 14. Coming in for their pit stops onto the medium compound tyres. Fiverr takes the lead of the race now. He's the lead car on the softs. Only a few drivers left on those soft compound tyres actually. The rest of them on medium tyres. Or in the case of Jack, hard tyres down at the back. He'll be really hoping for a safety car. But yeah, out in front, Fiverr is leading. How powerful is that undercut going to be? How much time is Dragonflies going to gain on the back of on Fiverr there? Dragonflies has come out in clean air, which is quite crucial for him. So leading to the pit lane now as well to get off of those soft compound tyres.
Need to stay within DRS here if I can.
Out the back of Rocket, still 2, 3 and 4 currently in this race, yet to make their pit stops. They are battling away hard as ever. But I would expect we're going to see Fiverr into the pit lane on this lap. I mean, if we are going to be seeing intermediate tyres at the end of this race, you could potentially try a soft here.
I did consider soft.
Strategy because you'd be committing to having to make another pit stop at some point. It's medium tyres for the Red Bull driver. The two stay out in front. Oscar coming into the pit lane now. So Rocket leading a race once again here now. After those guys have made their pit stop, Shuriken is not too far behind though. He will be catching them quite rapidly as well. 14 lap newer tyres for the Aston Martin driver. And the gap only 5 or so seconds. Where is Dragon coming up relative? The undercut barely did anything for him. He might have gained the position.
Thank you for the follow. I think that was Bagel.
Comes out right with him. And into turn 1 as well. Let's have a look at this battle. Echo around the outside of Rob. He's got Oscar just in front as well. The two McLarens very close together on track now. And Echo is past one. But as soon as he gets past one, he has another in front of him. Oscar on much newer tyres as well. Is going to be a bit harder for Echo to make the overtake on. Rob getting the defense done on there on AD. But Echo just going to have to sit behind this McLaren for now. Maybe going to get pulled along in the slipstream. Hopefully can maintain some decent pace here.
Thank you again,
Also going
whoever
a
that
little
was.
bit deep there with that lock up. And look at the gap that is closing. Havoc into the pit lane. Rocket stays out. The gap now down to about 2 seconds. Shuriken sets the fastest lap of the
That
race.
was not
And we
when
have
we
a
wanted a VSC.
virtual safety car deployed. I think that was Jack off down.
I was hoping to get past Rob there.
9. He's missing his front wing. VSC is probably, that's amazing timing for Havoc, who's onto the soft tyres now. Rocket will be quite bummed he didn't come into the pits then. They'll be hoping it stays out long enough for him to make his pit stop. But that was probably perfect time for Havoc. Could be a good enough undercut for him along with that VSC to come out in front of Rockets now. Lots of drivers making their way into the pit lane. Oscar for another pit stop. Echo and Rob both also coming in now. So everybody apart from Rocket have now made their pit stops. Rocket is the only driver yet to pit out in front currently. And
Aces also, thank you for the follow.
For that VSC to come to an end so he can make his pit stop. Well, he'll be hoping it doesn't come to an end, I guess. But he will have to make his pit stop at some point. Guys further down as well, making more pit stops onto newer tyres. Red Dog onto a set of soft compound tyres. And there we go. Oh, drive-through for Havoc. All of that advantage he would have been gaining lost because he's picked up a drive-through penalty. The Mercedes driver going to be dropping way down the order now. Into the pit lane comes Rocket. This is one of the slowest. It has a slower speed limit, I believe, as it is a short pit lane. But you still lose about 23 seconds in this pit lane. And that's going to be dropping him probably close to that battle with Oscar and Echo. Really unfortunate for him. Shuriken retakes the race lead. Rocket coming out on a set of 12 compound tyres. Where will he come out? He's going to come out in a world of his own. Fiber miles up in front, 80 miles behind. Rocket's going to be quite lonely for this next stint, unless we do see a potential safety car. So now Echo and Oscar were both able to make pit stops, so they're on equal tyres now. As we head through the banking, Echo gets the move done on Oscar. Oscar going to be having a look now, maybe to the inside, but he does not have that DRS. He's going to be using purely slipstream and battery. To the inside, has a look. No, not close enough to make the move. Oscar is missing his front end plates. Did Oscar pit to fix his wing damage and forget to change the front wing option? Oscar has damage here, and that's going to be costing him a lot of time. If he were to make a pit stop now, he'd come out in 11th place, behind Salit. So not ideal for him, really. The gap between P1 and P2 currently sat at 6 seconds. Dragon and Fiber battling it out still for this P2 and 3 position. The 2 remaining podium positions. Here comes Fiber now. Down the start-finish straight, gets back up into P2. These guys have been battling all race long. And this is the closest battle we currently have on the track, along with Jack and Red Dog for P12 and 13.
5 minutes till rain. It's about 3 laps.
So Shuriken doing exactly what he needs. He came into this race knowing he needed to pick up a race win. He's had 2 bad races, I would say, to start off this season. Silverstone did not go very well for him at all. Yeah, he's definitely coming into this one knowing he needs to win it to kickstart a good campaign, to try and give himself a chance at this championship. His championship rival Downsy also not here, and with Dragonfly scoring well, with Rocket scoring well, with Fiber scoring well, this is a crucial weekend where he needs to pick up the pieces and head on to try and take that win. As it stands, he's doing exactly what he needs, 7 seconds ahead of Fiber currently in P2. Here we go once again with the DRS down towards turn 1. Should be an easy move here for Dragonfly. Here he comes to the inside and back up into P2. Havoc onto the back of AD as well. He's managed to close up nice and quickly and should be trying to make a note of it. Rocket sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:11.1. Is anybody going to be able to beat that before the rain does start to come down? The track is going to be cooling down now as the clouds come over. Here comes Havoc to the inside of the Hash driver, and he is through up into P5. AD's going to try and hang it around the outside. Havoc almost loses the car on that inside curb, and now AD to the outside of turn 3. Oh, nope, lag. Oh, this is so annoying. It's very frustrating when that kind of thing happens. It's hard to know when to react and when not to, but Havoc has managed to get up past into P5 now ahead of AD. AD's still on for a very nice points finish. He's finished P7, P5, and now running P6. Oh, we have yellow flags. That's the Red Bull of Jack. He spun it down at the banking at the final corner. Gets back going once again, but a really miserable race for him. He has now been lapped. He's about to be lapped by his teammate as well. And into the pit lane comes the Red Bull driver, I think maybe to retire the car. Not too sure. Very unfortunate race for him so far. Shuriken still leading out in front. Jack retired from the race. Very unfortunate end for him. He was running quite well at the start. Up at the front. Just could not seem to materialise though.
Green flag.
So lap 21 out of 36. We know there's going to be rain coming at some point. But when is the real question? Fireball currently still ahead of Dragonfly, but these guys still battling hard. AD's managing to hold on to Havoc for now, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge for him, I think, to manage to get the DRS for the next few laps. Rob Kaz onto the back of Oscar as well, just looking at these gaps. Could potentially be trying a move at some point. If he can stay within the DRS, but this is the main battle on the track.
Oh, AD.
Once again, we head down the start, finish straight. No penalties yet in this race, at least track limit penalties. We had a drive through for Havoc, but here comes Dragonflies up into P2 once again.
Yeah. He's just trying to stay within DRS. And look how that's got me.
And Rob does manage to make the move on his teammate with their mistake for Oscar. Oh, you know, Oscar has the wing damage. Yes, I completely forgot about that. So that explains why. That explains Oscar's lack of pace. Only 4 seconds behind to Salit. At this point, if he did make a pit stop, he would come out last and lapped as well. So he really does have to hope for a safety car at this point, I think. Which is a really unfortunate way for his race to go. It looked like he was doing decently as well. Another driver who was, I think, using P4 off the start. Had a nice race start, overtook Rocket. But unfortunately, it's just not materialising. A couple of drivers really struggling here. But once again, we head down towards the final corner. And DRS opens up once more. For another DRS overtake between Dragonflies and Fiverr down the start, finish straight.
I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data, so keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you
Is Fiverr going to have a look since I know Justice behind?
Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. Really helpful.
If there's any chance for them to fight for this race win, they will want it. So they cannot afford to lose the jump time.
Okay, rain is imminent. Rain is imminent. Be careful out there. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
And now down towards turn 7. Fiverr closing
Rain is
in a
imminent,
little bit on
apparently.
Dragon, not quite close enough for the move though. Oscar is still sticking with Rob as well. Those hard tyres not working too well for the McLaren, so we might see Oscar going for the re-overtake here. That's wing damage, also going to give him a slight straight line speed boost, slightly less.
Currently faster than the car behind, slower than the car ahead.
They can overtake here.
Why did I change to 8th then?
Not close enough for him. I don't remember if it was 3 or 4 seconds though, Salit. So I'm not sure if Salit is catching these guys or if they're pulling away. It looks though like Salit is starting to catch them. Which could mean Oscar's day is about to get that much worse. Fiverr once again down the start, finish rate up into P2. Past Dragonfly.
Very wide there.
Nice easy move for him. Now down into 3, up the hill, or so down the hill it was first, down then up then down. This track is quite like Portugal actually, where you have a lot of elevation change, one of the classic tracks from way back then. Got renovated a couple of years ago and made its return in 2021. Echo gets past Xbox on the inside into turn 1, finally gets that move done. He is now up into P7 to chase after his fellow Brit AD and the Mercedes of Havoc as well. If you can close those gaps, more points available for him, obviously. So here we go once again down the start finish rate. Dragonfly is much closer as well, and up into P2 again. The back mark actually, if I might get
lost the rear
some
there.
DRS if he's still there next time around. We'll have to see how close they do get to him. I expect they're probably going to make the overtake before then. Once again, Fiber only a couple tenths behind, but it's not really close enough for an overtake to happen here. Just has to slot in behind and wait it out for that DRS straight. If they keep swapping like this for the rest of the racing traffic, who is going to come out on top? Oh! There's rain! The rain has finally arrived with 10 laps to go in this race. There are drops of rain falling. This is going to mix things up a bit. When are people going to make their pit stops? I think it's definitely too early right now, but DRS will get shut down at some point.
There is the rain.
So here we come around the banking. The track already starting to look a little bit greasy there, but still too early for the intermediate tyres. Let's see. Rocket chooses to stay out as well. Next car will be Havoc, but I expect we're going to see pretty much all of these guys choosing to stay out. It's a bit early. We're only just starting to see the first few drops. AD also going to be now coming around the final corner. And he chooses to stay out as well. Echo stays out. Xbox coming up to the start finish line. He stays out as well. Then we have the two McLaren drivers. I think Oscar
Definitely getting slippier now.
This or next lap to jump into that pit lane and fix his front wing as well. Here we go down the start finish rate. Rob stays out. Oscar stays out as well. Still, the drivers think it is far too dry. And the next driver to the pit lane will be Shuriken, our race leader. Let's go on board with him and have a look. Yeah, it still looks dry, but it seems he is starting to struggle a little bit. For some grip, stays out once again. It still looks very much like a dry track here. And now here comes Fiber. Ooh, getting out of shape there on the banking as we head now down towards turn 1. To the inside line. Dragon is going to try and hang it around the outside, but in these low grip conditions, is there enough grip there for him to get on the power now? Heading down towards turn 2. These two having a nice battle this whole race. Dragonflies gets the inside, gets ahead. And up back into P2, manages to hold on to that position.
Hey, Echo is catching me hand over fist now.
Still yet to see any drivers into the pit lane yet. Echo stays out
Xbox
just
One
now. Oscar,
in the pits.
Xbox the next one, and Xbox is into the pit lane. Xbox chooses to pit. 10-second penalty. He couldn't slow it down. It's intermediate tyres for the Aston Martin driver. And this is going to be the changing point in the race, I guess. When are others going to come into the pits? The track is definitely starting to look damper and damper. I would say now is the time. I think any second now, DRS is going to get disabled. Let's see. Shuriken, is he pitting? Shuriken chooses to stay out in one more lap. This could be Dragon and Fiber's chance to catch up. Oh, Fiber's made a mistake! Fiber losing the car, coming onto the banking and into the pit lane comes the Red Bull. Can he slow it down better than Xbox was able to do? Yes, he can. Gets to slow it down. Does not pick up the penalty. It's undercut time here in SDRL. Rocket into the pit lane as well. Dragon and Shuriken left out on the track. Is it going to get too wet by the time they get around? You can see the rain on the track now. This is going to get much more exciting. And this could be a mistake for Dragon with the strategy. Look how wet it is now. Havoc chooses to stay out as well. Is it too early? AD and Echo coming around the final corner into the pit lane. They both decide to come in and now get it slowed down. Don't speed in. AD picks up a time penalty. Oh no, it's going so well for him in this race. Next driver on the slicks is going to be Rob. Xbox has gained quite a lot of time on this, on the back of this McLaren here. You can really see the grip advantage he has. Into the pit lane comes Rob. Xbox is obviously staying out. Both McLarens coming in, double stacked down out McLaren. Rob picks up a 10-second penalty. They're all struggling to slow it down for the pit lane. Those penalties could be very dangerous at the end. So now let's see how well is the
Part of my reason for that penalty was I didn't want to slam on the brakes with Echo so close behind me.
Shuriken here. We know Shuriken's not great in the wet. Oscar retires in the pit lane. Unfortunate end to his race. Still 11 runners left in the race. But this is going to be the crucial one. Dragon into the pit lane as well. Shuriken will definitely come out in the lead. Dragon gets a 10-second
Hi,
penalty
Aces.
for speeding.
Yes, I do.
Oh no, Dragon!
Disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
And I think just to add salt into the wound, I think Fiber might be coming through. DRS has finally been disabled. No, it looks like Dragon will actually hold the P2 position. It looks like they were one lap early. Yeah, look at the gap. Dragon has pulled 5 seconds. I don't know if it was a bad lap for Fiber. But I think it must have been. Look how close Rockets managed to get to the Red Bull as well. And now all of a sudden, this is a fight for P2 between Fiber and Rocket, because that 10-second penalty for Dragon is going to prove costly for him. The current gap is only 5 or 6 seconds. And yeah, so 2nd, 6th, 8th and 9th all have 10-second time penalties currently. Which, yeah, that's... So Dragon, as it stands, would drop to 4th. AD would drop to 7th. And Rob would drop to 10th with those penalties.
Okay, gap to the car ahead.
Oh dear, Oscar.
2 seconds.
So obviously with DRS disabled, this is going to make fighting that bit trickier. Obviously you're not going to get as many overtakes down that start finish rate with the lack of DRS. But the slipstream is still very powerful around here, and that could be the advantage. Some people might have set their cars up for a wet race potentially, expecting maybe a little bit more rain than 6 or so laps.
Lost a position. That's us down a place.
But yeah,
Oh,
Echo
that was close.
gets the move done on the exit of turn 10 to the outside line for the chicane now. These two battling out, the two Brits. A little bit of contact there, I think. I saw a couple particles flying off there. But Echo is now up into P6. He would have got that position anyway with the time penalties. But he gets it on track anyway. So Rocket is holding onto the back of Fiber. Fiber seems to be struggling quite a bit in the wet conditions. Maybe that is his downfall. The gap between Fiber and Shuriken currently is 10 seconds. Obviously Dragon has that penalty, so he's not going to be able to take the race win, most likely. But yeah, unless Shuriken has a massive drop off in pace or makes some big mistakes, he should be home and, well, not home and dry, home and a bit soggy. Rocket still managing to hold on, but it's going to be tricky now without that DRS to make the overtakes he needs to make to get the P2 position here.
Oh, Echo.
Still within that 1 second margin, though. He will be picking up some benefit from the slipstream as they head down towards turn 1. He's going to be deploying a bit of battery as well to try and close up a bit more, but not close enough at all for a move. Everybody else starting to spread out a little bit. So yeah, these time penalties, 7th, 8th and 9th all having time penalties, means that most of them aren't actually going to be losing a position. It'll only be Rob who loses out to Salute, I believe. But we still have 5 laps to go. We have yellow flags and Dragon's off. Dragon's off. He's made a mistake down at turn 8. So, okay, well that kind of changes everything. They don't even have to worry about catching Dragonflies at all or him pulling away. Yeah, all of these time penalties are 10-second penalties. Where is it? It's detail. There we go. 10-second penalties for all of them. Nobody has got a track limits penalty. But now, yeah, that mistake for Dragon, if he continues like that, he might be losing the position to Havoc as well. Rocket still sticking with Fiber, closing in a couple tenths lap after lap. The gap now half a second coming out of turn 1. It was 7 tenths last time around. And he's just got to keep his head cool, and he could be on for a P2 here. Four tenths now the gap as they head down.
Hey, Luca's catching me like anything.
Really
Close to a second a lap.
Exits. I think that's probably one of his big weaknesses. Rocket probably running slightly higher wings than the Rebel driver, and that is helping for him. Oh, and a mistake was that for the Rebel. He's going a bit wide. Rocket could be trying to move to the outside of turn 10. Here he goes. Can he find the grip on the exit though? That's going to be the crucial thing. He does get the power down quite well now as we head down towards turn 11. Rocket has that inside line. He's edging ahead of the Rebel driver. And to the inside now, into the chicane. Rocket does get it done, but Fiber gets the inside line now. Can Rocket stick it around the outside? He can. And now up into P2. But now he's got 4 more laps to defend this position to try and bring this one home. Minimize the damage for Shuriken. Down towards turn 1, Dragon is going to put some pressure onto the Rebel here. Not quite able to get it done.
Are you coping okay with this weather?
These guys still going at it. We also have Xbox down in P8. Him and AD both have those 10-second time penalties. So if Xbox is able to close in a little bit and make the overtake on the Haas, that would be 2 more points headed his way. But yeah, as it stands, Shuriken's still 10 seconds clear right in front. They are starting to close in slowly, but definitely not enough. Shuriken seems to be doing very well at this track. Oh, and Rocket has made a mistake there, I think. Here comes Fiber around the outside and retaking that P2. He has the inside. They're still going wheel to wheel once again into the chicane. This time it's going to be the Rebel on the inside. Rocket's going to get squeezed onto that gravel almost. Just about keeps it within the white line.
It's the gap behind. I care about Mark. I've got 10 seconds
between them, but Fiber retakes the P2 as we start lap 34. Yellow flags. That is Echo. Echo's had a mistake. He will probably maintain that P6 with those time penalties, but that's going to be a confidence drop for him. Very much so. Rocket now under pressure from his rival Dragonflies behind. They've just got to keep it clean. Dragonflies has that 10-second time penalty. He's not going to be gaining any positions here. The track is definitely getting wetter as well. It's going to be getting much trickier. Xbox now only half a second off of AD now. Oh, we have more yellow flags. Rob down at turn 10 has lost it on the entry. Looks like he's lost the race potentially. Gets back going once again though.
The car behind's gaining on you by 5/10 a lap.
Down the start-finish straight comes Xbox in the slipstream of AD. Can't see much without all that spray, but cannot get close enough for the overtake. It's in front. Fiber starting to actually pull away a bit from Rocket. Maybe Rocket not having a great lap here. That gap now 1 second. Rocket might have just taken a bit too much out of his tyres. Maybe saving some ERS for that final lap. Not too sure yet. Xbox and Echo all over the back of AD as they head into turn 7. Very close racing here. Xbox getting onto the grass there. He's going to have a look to the inside, potentially on AD. No, not quite close enough. And these guys just holding it out. 2 laps to go now as Shuriken has started the penultimate lap of the race. A dominant drive. They are gaining quite quickly on him now. Just too late for that one to happen now. And AD under so much pressure. Here comes Echo past Xbox. This could be a saving grace for AD potentially if Echo can hold Xbox up a little bit. Rocket has once again closed into a couple tenths off the back of Fiber, but here we go now down the start finish straight. Echo gets past AD into turn 1. He's going to have the inside line to make this overtake happen, and he gets past the Haas driver on the exit. Nicely done by Echo. But has to slot in behind. Here comes Xbox now around the outside of AD. AD struggles down at turn 3. We've seen him losing a lot of time there, but cannot get that one done there. And Rocket is back past Fiber onto the penultimate lap of this race. Rocket is back up into P2. He's got one more lap to defend this one.
That's nice.
And AD also trying to hang on. And Echo spun again. Another spin for Echo, and Xbox is round as well.
I don't think I had anything to do with that. Clip that, somebody, please.
Not too sure. Here we go into turn 1. Fiber up the inside of Rocket. Can he make this move stick? He's now the inside for 2, but Rocket will get it for turn 3. No, Fiber has to slot back in behind. These two still battling out, though. This is for P2 and P3, the final podium positions. This battle going to continue on for the rest of the lap now as we head down towards turn 7 on the run. Is Fiber going to be able to close in enough to try and stick it up the inside? Doesn't look like it. They're just going to have to settle in behind. Still a couple more overtaking opportunities for the rest of this lap. They are so close together, though, as we head through the middle sector. Is he going to try and send a lunge into turn number 9? That's one of the overtaking opportunities. No, he can't. He's not close enough. On the exit now, running down towards turn 10. We've seen Rocket make a couple moves here. Again, not close enough. He's setting himself up potentially for a move down this final straight. A little bit of contact there between the pair of them. He is closing in rapidly, but is he going to close enough? Rocket lets him through. What's happened there? What's happened to Rocket? Has he run out of fuel? I think Rocket's run out of fuel. Anyway, we'll head back to that in a second. But out in front, Shuriken has run a dominant race so far this race.
Give it a follow.
And he comes across the line to take a win here. What a drive from Shuriken. Wins by 8 seconds. Absolute dominance. Stayed well in the wet. Up to the line now. Fiber is going to come home to take the P2. Who's going to get it though between Dragon and Rocket? Rocket is out of fuel as he heads down the start-finish straight. Dragon takes his 10-second penalty. Oh, that was a big crash. Rocket up to the line. Has he got it? Just about takes home the P3. What was the gap across the line? 3 seconds. Much longer and he would have lost that one. Havoc across the line. Comes home in P5. Dragon was able to hold on to that P4 by just 1 second after that spin. We look further back to this battle. AD, it should be able to hold on.
Oh, fuck.
Just in the end here, those spins proved costly for Xbox and Echo. So AD is going to come across the line. Oh, Xbox is out of fuel as well. Everybody running out of fuel in the late stages here. 2 drivers have run out of fuel. Echo will take P6, AD takes P7.
No, the way fuel mode works, Corn, is you just drive really slowly.
Rob and Salit, as it stands, as long as nobody runs out of fuel again.
I'm really happy with that race. I didn't have a single spin. I don't think I had a few, opposite lock moments. That 10-second fucking pit lane penalty.
His 10-second penalty. Salit only 7.5 behind.
That's frustrating. The only reason I got that was because I had that car. I think it was Echo right behind me, and I didn't want to sort of brake too early and force him to run up the back of me. Oh. Still, third race in the points.
Nice fighting back through. A couple of times he was able to get through the field there.
Dragon, was that P4, I think?
I think. Nope. Yes, maybe.
Unlucky, Oscar.
Not sure. But there we go. There is your race winner. Shuriken comes home to take the win from Fiber and Rocket.
That's absolutely fine, Corn. I didn't realise you could do that, but yes.
From all of the
well done. That was good thinking. Thank you, Rob. Where did you end up?
The podium.
Meh. Oh, unlucky, Rob. I am really pleased with that race. Really pleased. P10 Oscar. Oh, is that where Rob
there we
finished?
Go, confirmation of the result. Shuriken
well done, Rob.
comes home to take the win
Points
from
all
Fiber,
count.
Rocket, Dragon, Havoc, Echo, AD, Xbox, Salit, Rob, Red Dog, Oscar, and Jack. Rocket takes the fastest lap as well, an extra point headed towards him. And we want...
Thanks, Dragon. I got a 10-second penalty as well. Yeah, that'll do. It should have been 6. Bloody grid penalties. Sorry, pit lane speeding penalties.
Just give me a few more seconds.
Yeah, the thing that did it for me, Dragon, I had someone right behind me coming into the pit lane. I believe so, Corn, yes.
There we go. And... one sec. It hasn't updated. Oh, submit. That's why. Oh no. Oh, I've got to do it again. Okay, just give me a few seconds while I sort this out.
Choco having issues with my pit lane, podium procedure. I hope it's finger trouble and not a problem with the actual code. I don't know about on fire, but I was really happy with that because I just didn't really make any mistakes. My race was relatively quiet for quite a while. Bloody pit lane.
Alright, this should work hopefully this time.
So I probably braked too late and as a result picked up the 10-second penalty. I thought I'd got it down to the pit lane speed, but obviously not.
And at the end of that race, you were also battling with Echo and Luca as well.
Yeah.
on that final stint. How tricky were those conditions? It seemed that lots of drivers were struggling out there.
They were pretty tricky. It got before I switched on to the inters. The grip was definitely starting to go, so I think I switched at the right time, and then conditions just got progressively worse. So the last 2 or 3 laps on the inters were pretty hairy, and I think both the guys I was battling with had a spin or a couple of spins. Which unfortunately, I think it was Echo who didn't have the penalty. It didn't drop him back far enough to negate my penalty, sadly, so he did get the place at the end.
Yep. Looking forward to Bahrain then. Quite a different track to this one. It's much easier to overtake. Also, probably not going to see any rain there. How do you think you're going to do out there?
I mean, Bahrain's a middling track for me. It's not one of my best, but it's not terrible. So, I mean, all I can do is hope I carry on with a relatively incident-free race, and carry on getting points, because this is quite a nice feeling.
All right. Well, best of luck for you next time out.
Thank you, and thanks for the comms as ever.
No problem. Next time out.
Thank you, and thanks for the comms as ever.
No problem. Okay.
So there we go. Who's next?
We'll go for Rocket then. Hello, Rocket. Can you hear me?
Hello there.
P3 for you. Pretty decent result. Talk us through how it all went for you.
That was a race of what ifs, I think. Started on the medium, which was not the right call. It dropped me too far back. And then the VSC came out just as I passed the pit lane, which dropped me 10 seconds off the front. And then, unfortunately, I went probably half a lap too low on fuel, expecting to see at least one safety car, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the point. We had no safety cars, did we? Was it two virtuals in the end?
Yeah, you had a very nice battle as well with who was it? It was Fiber, I think, at the end.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. How tricky were those conditions? You seem to be battling very hard with him.
Yeah,
only one VSC. Okay.
I was all over the place. We both were sliding all over. I think it
2
was
people got the
basically
prediction
both
right,
of us
so well
on the
done
limit.
there.
Trying to keep the car on the track, and then if there was an overtake on, going for it. But yeah, great race with him. Very fair.
All right, and how do you think you're going to do next time out in Bahrain?
I don't know. It's one of my good tracks, but it's very easy to drop the car. I don't expect it'll be raining, but I do.
If we get rain in Bahrain, I have had a wet race in ranked in Saudi.
Best of luck for
which
you
was
next time out.
interesting and unexpected.
No problem. Okay, next we will go for. Oh, I was going to go for Dragon, but he has just left. I will go for Echo then instead. Hello, Echo.
Oh, hello.
So not a terrible race, not a great race, I'd say. P6 in the end. Talk us through it.
You want Dry to finally drive.
Well, obviously, it was going to be a recovery drive from the start, but it became even more of a recovery drive because of lap 1 incident with Rob. I don't know what happened, but he just swerves across the track entirely, and it knocks off my end plate, and I have to pit a couple laps later because I just can't keep up with anyone. And yeah, I was 30 seconds behind, and then it was just over from there, to be honest.
Yeah. But in the end, you were able to recover to P6, picked up a couple of positions as a result of time penalties. How did you feel those intermediate conditions were?
I mean, I felt they were all right. It's just, when I kept coming, I think it was turn 8, I just kept like slightly touching the grass, and it just kept sending me around. So it was okay, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah. Still though, decent points coming off of that qualifying ban. How do you feel you're going to do in Bahrain?
A lot better, because I don't think I'll have a quali
Nightcorn,
ban.
thanks a lot for all your help as ever.
All right, well, best of luck
Enjoy
next
your
time out
rest of
then.
your week.
Cheers, see ya.
No problem. Okay, let's go for Salit next. Hello, Salit.
Hello.
P9 for you. picked up a result as a result picked up a position as a result of that penalty. Sorry. How was your race?
I'll say my race was okay. I felt like I could have been up more in the grid if I haven't spent out on during lap one. Jack kind of closed the door on me. I went for a kind of little dive bomb. I thought I could make it, but like he closed the door on me, so I had to go a little right. I hit the curve, so I spent out. That would have been like P5. Worked my way up with the grid, but shit happens.
And then those wet conditions. How easy was it judging the right time to make that pit stop?
It wasn't. But once I think I had lost my rear at the same turn when I spent out the first time in lap one, I figured like let me just come to the pits now. I'm gonna just lose time. So I just came to the pits, changed to intermediates. But I think around lap 27, I believe I had hit the wall, so I lost my rear wing. I'm gladly that McLaren driver spun out too, or I would never got the ninth position.
Yeah.
Because I hit the wall. I was losing track time.
Yeah. How tricky were those into conditions?
I mean, the beginning stages were okay. Towards the end, I felt like I wanted to switch to wets because it felt like towards the end it was more wet. I was losing way more grip towards the end. So it was like 50-50.
All right. And how do you feel you're gonna do next time out in Bahrain?
Bahrain, that's a track I do like. Like I like it very much. So hopefully I'm in the middle of the pack, not in the back of the pack. That's what I'm hoping for. Top 8, hopefully top 5. Maybe not though. So like top 8, top yeah, around there.
All right. Well, best of luck. Hopefully, some more points heading your way next time out.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
No problem. And then finally, I believe we'll have Jax. Hello, Jax.
I will be ended after this, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Not probably the result you were looking for today. Just talk us through how your race went down.
So lap one, as
You're going to
Sid
raid,
mentioned, I did
yeah,
cut
not
across
much
the track,
point, but
and I was
thank
looking
you,
for
I
an
appreciate
outside
it.
line on Rocket going towards turn 2 and 3, and I didn't realise Silly was there, so I just kind of closed the door on him, and I apologise for that. But anyways, going
Some of these
towards the
people shouldn't be
start
up
of the
this
race, I
late,
was
surely.
hanging behind Rocket, and I just couldn't find a way
It's
through,
11
really.
o'clock.
And then
they
when
got
Oscar
parents.
went off the track the first time, I really found an opportunity to squeeze through both of them. And then I kind of had a little incident, and then Rocket went through on me. Oscar went through again, and then Oscar went wide again, and then my softs at that point, because I was pushing so hard.
He sounds like he's 7,
my left
yeah, that's
front,
what I was
believe,
thinking.
was on 20% by lap 8. So I decided, well, I'm going to have the box yard, but then before I decided to do that,
you're going to raid
I
me
hit
and
the
then I'll
wall
raid
on
somebody. Thank you, sir.
the flat corner
I will find
towards
somebody
the
to raid.
start finish
Much appreciated.
So I was like, oh, I'll have the box. And I didn't realise at the time that hards were that disadvantaged compared to mediums, but yeah, in the end it was just a wrong choice.
Yeah, and what was the decision for the retirement? Was it just too far behind? Didn't think you'd be able to recover?
Yeah, at that point I was about 9-10 seconds behind Echo, and I just thought at that point, oh, my race is over. I've got no chance of doing this.
All right, and next race is Bahrain. How do you think you're going to do there?
It's one of my decent tracks. I think I'll be able to get into the midfield positions. P5, P6 is what I'm really aiming for.
All right, well, best of luck for you next time out.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, and now we have Luca. Hello, can you hear us?
Hello there.
So P8 for you, pretty decent result. Talk us through how it went for you.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty strategic race. Most of the time I was hunting down. I made a couple of mistakes which dropped me back sometimes. And then I think when the rain starts, that's when my race came to a life, because I was beforehand on a different tire strat. I was losing out a bit, but on the Inters, I felt I had good pace. But in the end, I was hunting down AD. But I ran out of fuel. I could overtake him, but I also didn't want to waste too much of my fuel. but in the end,
okay.
matched it not well.
I thought I was defending relatively well
you came
there,
in
but
at P8. What happened with the 10-second time penalty? Was that just misjudging the pit lane? Was it too slippery? Were you not expecting it?
Yeah, I expected a little bit too slippery because I think I made the right timing with the inters. I was sliding the last corners of my lap before I was coming in, and I didn't really account that to my braking on the pit entry, and I misjudged that, and that cost me in the end. No, what I'm telling. In the end, it cost me luckily nothing.
Yeah, and just finally to add on, you had a couple spins on that final stint. Was that just struggling for grip, or was there something else there?
Yeah, I think I wanted to push more than I should. My tires, my left tires, front tires, and back tire started overheating, and it was quite tricky to find the right grip for the corners, but also trying to catch up.
All right. And then looking forward to Bahrain next time out, how do you think you're going to do there? Is that a track you go well at?
Yeah, I think that's a better track for me. Honestly, I hated Netherlands, but on Bahrain, I'm much more confident. I think I could do a little bit better there.
All right. Well, best of luck next time out for you.
Thank you.
No problem. All right then. So now that is going to be it from me. I have been Ish Chocolate. We will have streams next week on Monday and Wednesday for the Diamond and Gold Series races, both in Bahrain at the Sakhir circuit. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will hope to see you then. Thank you and goodbye.
GG Chocolate as ever. So there we go. On the whole, a pretty good race from me. I'm really pleased. I think that's probably the first SDRL race I've had. I think that's probably the first where I SDRL race I've had. I think that's incoming raid by SDRL official. Let's mute SDRL. Welcoming raiders. Hello, hello. Those of you who don't know me, I'm AD. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Oh my God, it's AD Hawkins. Hey, Lo, how you doing? How was everybody's race? Hope you all enjoyed it. You enjoyed racing with me. Thank you, Luca. It was a nice battle at the end there. I was doing my best to keep everyone behind. But yes, I'm really pleased with that. I was just saying, I think that's my first SDRL race that I didn't have a spin. I had a few close moments, especially once the rain started, but on the whole, I kept it nice and clean. 10-second pit lane penalty. But hey, you are the unluckiest. Unlucky Rob. Hey Rocket, yes, you ran out of fuel. Not great at all, but hey ho. So yeah, 3 races in the season, 3 points finishes. I don't think I was involved in any incidents, so there should be nothing to knock me down. Cert told you 2.5 over, Berkey told you 2 over, and you went 2. Yeah, I think I was told 2.5 and I went 3, I think. Because I was quite surprised we didn't have any safety cars. We had 1 VSC and that was it. I don't think that was the right time for me to pit, so I stuck it out. I was up in P5 for a while, but yeah, I think I got my pit stop onto the inters at exactly the right time. Just a shame about that 10-second penalty. Can I say grr again? I just have. So yeah. So there we go, another SDR race over. You can never get it right, Red Dog. So 3 SDR races, points finishes 2 7ths and a 5th, I think. Or was I 8th today? 7th or 8th today. 7th in the first race and 5th. AD grows that a new one. What's that? Sorry. I don't get that, Oscar. Oh, bloody ad break. Apologies for that. I will continue to talk through the ad break. Hopefully those of you who's only just joined. AD growls. Oh, I say yes. I was going to say, what? I've shaved the beard. I thought maybe that was what you were referring to. So yeah, on the whole, a very good race. Would have been nice without the 10-second penalty. Would have been nice to keep Echo and Luca behind me, but you know, realistically, I was struggling a bit on the inters. I think other than that, my strategy was fine. My race was pretty good, and yeah, more points. So there we go. Next week is Bahrain. An okay track for me, not one of my best, but not one of my worst. So fingers crossed we can continue this this positive momentum that we've got. We will see more overtakes. Oh, okay, they'll all be overtaking me then. Turn 1 Bahrain, rocket corner. Ah, yes, fair point. Shuri, all you can see good in Bahrain is no wet race. Well, I was saying earlier, in ranked, I had a full heavy rain race in Saudi. And I doubt that's ever happened, you know, that they got as much rain as I saw in that ranked race. You reckon at least one safety car? And Oscar reckons no VSCs and no safety cars. Well, I guess we will see. It's either 0 or 5. Yeah, we did. You seem to have an issue with safety car restarts in the Diamond tier earlier this week. But see, the Gold tier managed to keep it clean. Despite rain, Diamond didn't have any rain in the race, did they? They did in qualifying, if memory serves. But anyway, I can't waffle on too much longer because I need to leave. That's one downside of getting into Q3. I didn't get my bathroom break while Q3 was going on. So I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or not, because I did, was it 10th or 9th I qualified in the end. I could have just sat out Q3 and it would have had exactly the same result. But anyway, we're going to head off and raid Chris Not Luda. He's playing some F124. He's often to be found in my open lobbies, so do stick around if you wouldn't mind. 80 raid in the chat. Use the emote if you've got access to it. Say hi to Chris Not Luda, sorry. Drop him a follow, and yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's race. I hope you all have a great end to your week, and I'll be back tomorrow evening for some Mafia from All Being Well. Have some network cabling put in tomorrow. So all being well, I'll be live about 7 PM UK time tomorrow evening. Hopefully JBG is fighting fit for Federated Fridays. Grey Ops co-op stream playing through Borderlands 2. That'll be Friday from about 8:30. No Speedy Sundays this weekend because there is a Grand Prix on. And yeah, and then I'll be back with assisting It's Chocolate with the comms duties in SDRL Official on Monday evening. So thank you again, everyone. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye for now.